in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker. Guys around here will tell you, you play for a living. It's like any other job. You don't gamble. You grind it out. Your goal is to win one big bet an hour. That's it. Get your money in when you have the best of it. Protect it when you don't. Don't give anything away. That's how I've paid my way through half of law school. A true grinder. See, I learned how to win a little at a time. But finally I've learned this. If you're too careful, your whole life can become a fucking grind.
All right, guys, welcome back for another heads up match here. Hope you like the Rounders intro and then this long 7 or 8 second pause as I frantically try and switch screens. So in the booth today, it's going to be me and Anthony, your champ from the last round versus Carl. So I'm going to text the boys here right away, give them the cue to shuffle up and deal, and we'll go from there. So give me a 1 second here.
It's the reigning defending champion, the 2-time champion.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do your intro as good as I should have there. All right, we are live. Shuffle up and deal when ready. Okay, I've given them the signal. So while they're getting ready, just to recap, I'm going to switch screens here. Slight change from the format in the last one. We're basically keeping the same starting stack. We're going to have $1,000 for the chip count, and then the blind levels, as you can see on the screen, we're going to go by number of hands: 1, 2, 2, 5, 5, 10, 10, 20, and then cap it at 20, 40, and play it out. The only change from last match to this match is the players wanted a little bit more, room to wiggle or whatnot, so we increased it to best of 5 instead of best of 3. So that's the biggest change that you guys will see in this match here.
Carl wants extra chances to try and get lucky.
All right, so I'm going to turn the sound on too. We have a microphone live there. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay.
That's 6 deuce for Castleman and 8 offsuit for Carl. Just limps and checks.
Check.
So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Like I said, this is our second time doing it. We tried to use better webcams and a mic. If it's hard to hear or you notice something that needs us to adjust, definitely let us know in the chat, and we'll do our best.
So just a little small plot for Carl. He's king on the turn. Nothing really interesting. Neither of these guys, as far as I know, have a whole lot of heads-up experience, so it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to play a very passive game or if they're going to be a little more aggressive than Carl was last time. He played very strange. Like, I expected him in his regular, like in a full ring game, he's a little more aggressive. He played very passive and very just like afraid to bluff, I thought. And I want to see if he changes it today.
Could be. You think it might be opponent specific?
I don't know why. Everybody thinks I'm so tight, so I would think that they would want to be bluffed more against me, but it kind of put me at a confused state for some of the hands where I'm like, why isn't he jamming or betting the river here as a bluff?
Hard to say. Pretty hands though. We had the ace-3 of hearts versus queen-10. Carl hitting top pair. Erick had at least 1 club buried. He can continue. Not much you can do on that board.
And the dealer just like this. It was pretty cool. Yeah. I got knocked out kings versus kings, runner flush. But it was pretty fun though.
Is the chat up, by the way, or?
The chat is up and running. Like I said, I don't know how many folks are tuning in, but I will keep an eye on the chat. Oh, did I put 10-minute delay? I did. It's actually a 5-minute delay.
Yeah,
it is a 5-minute delay, but I programmed Nightbot to say 10 minutes. Small error there. As far as the volume goes, guys, I can adjust the mic settings for the players. It can get quite loud, so if there's something interesting, I will definitely turn it up. And if not, I will turn it back down so you guys can hear me and Anthony commentating more predominantly. There, I just turned it up, so it should be quite loud.
16.
Hopefully they can see all the chips.
And we did ask the players to verbalize their bet sizes, so it helps, just if we can't see the exact chips.
So Castleman flops trips versus a gutter for
20.
Carl, so it could have some action here.
For sure, especially with this 9 of spades in Carl's hand, 7-9, blocks him 7-8 and 8-9,
Call.
which are very playable hands.
Remember to show your cards.
Turn card changes nothing. 3 of hearts on the turn, complete brick.
That's
35.
45, I think. 35.
Full.
Yeah, I'll just leave
Carl,
the bet size louder because if you feel.
Another thing I noticed about Carl that's different is Carl knows I can read him, so he was wearing his hat and he was all in turtle mode versus me. I guess he doesn't have the same worries with Eric, that he's more open like he normally is.
Could be. I also know these boys play a fair bit, so how much sleep do you think the players have had? Was there any shenanigans going on last night and they could be a little bit tired this morning?
Call.
8-9 of spades for Eric. Decent flop.
Carl
Oh,
has like 9 of spades.
whoops.
And picks up a gutter on the turn.
You show your cards.
Oh, you're right. 3-9 over 3-9 of hearts for Eric.
Eric with the 3. And Carl moves into the lead and takes the pot out.
It's a scary board to bluff at, too. I mean, you pair your 8 with top pair. I mean, with the 9-3 of hearts there, that's a pretty connected, scary board. I might have wanted to make a nice, meaty-sized bet.
Eric needs to realize that only Randy can play the Randy.
That's right, yeah. For those wondering what the Randy is, Randy's a guy we play cards with quite often. He's very fond of the 9-3, which is what Eric was holding there. So, yeah, only Randy can play the 9-3.
3 of spades versus 10-4 offsuit. Carl should probably just fold, but he still limps.
Limping the button. It's early. The blinds are so small. This is going to be who wants it bad. The 10 of hearts looks pretty good in Carl's hand.
I feel like it's just going to check. There's not going to be any aggression from either of them. I predict it'll go check, 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 check. Eric will take it down. Carl actually win a bet.
So one thing we learned setting everything up is I have 4 cameras. 2 of them are Logitech, 2 of them are, I have no idea. They're just not as good as the Logitech. The ones used for the whole card cams that you guys see have a wider angle. The ones used for the flop cam in the main viewing area have a more narrow angle. Next time we'll have to switch that so that we have a wider angle to see the players better. So we've got Glad86 typing in the chat saying it looks good, great work, or nice work. Do you know who Glad86 is, Anthony?
Must be telling me something.
$10 bet. Nope.
Oh, I had a fondness for Carl's hand there. The King 5 of spades looked pretty sexy.
Very nice. Very nice. That's all that matters. I know, you did. Fucking completely fucking whipperball on that one. Just ace jack, no biggie.
That's not. Ethan
Turned up the volume
Whole nothing. Something.
so that the players.
Queen of diamonds. No, I didn't have a runner, nothing. No.
All right, what do we got? Queen 6 and the Randy again.
Limp and call. Carl flops a 3.
4.
It's an interesting hand to have because I mean it's a single race pot. Erick's got essentially overs, the heart, and the 6. That would be a very key turn card to let Erick continue in the hand. So,
if I were Erick, I would have bet that turn when he picked up so much.
15.
Not the river I wanted to see.
Yeah, Erick should have bet the turn when he picked up so many houses.
Yeah, there's definitely a noticeable difference between the two cameras. The whole card cams look very clear in comparison to the flop cam and the wide angle cam. We'll have to switch that up. We want the main viewing area to look better.
Go ahead.
Another limp. Has there been a raise pre-flop yet?
Not gonna lie, I haven't focused in so much on pre-flop. I will dial it in here.
4. Last hand.
Last hand at this level. Cool, next level shit.
What are we next? 2-5?
Yep. Get some red chips going on.
I think I just turned up the volume there for the mic in the at the table. The boys talking about the first level's almost done. A lot of red chips moving. They're heading to 2-5 shortly. Queen 9 for Erick.
9-5 for Carl.
Raise 11.
The Dolly Parton. But it's just a pre-flop. So I think that's the first raise. It was raised to 11. So.
Did you call it the Dolly Parton? Why is the 9-5 called the Dolly Parton?
9 to 5, the song.
9 to 5? Oh, is that what it is?
Way to make a living. Never
Well,
heard
don't
that?
stop there. Keep going.
That's all.
Belted,
that's the
baby.
only words I know.
All right, what are we working with here? Erick holding. Ooh,
Ace King.
pretty hand. Carl holding what Erick had a while ago, Queen 6.
And he goes back to limping. He's letting Carl outflop him here.
Yeah.
And
He's excited about the flop, but it's going to be over and done with. He can check with authority, and Carl's still going to fold.
$5.
No grimace, no nothing from Erick there either. Like, oh, I wish I, yeah. Just casually, quiet. Nobody knows that he had ace king, no raise pre.
yeah, I think it's going to be very similar to my game in terms of, like, Carl doesn't seem like he wants to get out of line or make very many plays. I think he's going to kind of let the cards come to him is what he's going to try and do.
Well, that's part of, increasing, because I know the players had talked about maybe a deeper starting stack, increasing number of hands, and then finally we settled on just, let's make it a best of 5. Because given more time, a better player's gonna play better. Given a forced structure, you got to amp up the aggression and go for it. So sitting back and waiting, if you have the structure to do it, it's great. If you don't, then you kind of got to pick your spots and make some moves. Queen Jack for Erick.
Raise 11.
King 7.
King 7 for Carl.
Oddly enough, if you watched a lot of the Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu heads-up match with pre-flop charts and 3-betting, the King 7 offsuit got mixed in quite a bit in the 3-bet range.
So Carl picks up the 7. I don't know what Erick had.
Erick has Queen Jack, so he's got 2 overs, and he's double single gutted. Any 9 gives him the super straight. Carl turning trips.
And it goes check. So Carl should probably just check here and let him bluff at it, but he's going to bet and he's just going to take it down.
Bet of 40.
Bet of 40, so yeah, I can hear Pookie, our dealer, is trying to verbalize the bets to help us out here. Erick just doesn't try and get creative, which is a good thing.
I find it interesting that Eric raised 2 of the pots. When it was 1-2, he raised to 11, and it's now 2-5, and he still raised to 11. So
Oh, he might not have known that the hand that blinds had increased. Because yeah, when you were playing, Anthony, what size? Sorry if I wasn't paying attention, being the broadcaster last time. What size were you opening to when you did raise, your button?
I was usually just using 3x.
3x standard.
Not on like online. It's like you can do like weirder amounts. But when it's live, it's like simple numbers.
You're not like 2.2, 2.1x. Yeah, Carl's got the Randy again, 9.3. I think it was 9.6. So far nothing kind of crazy. Both players just sort of feeling each other out here. That sounds funny, just saying that. But no real hands kind of mashing up for some interesting action. The Queen Jack with the overs in the gutter would have been interesting if maybe Eric hit a piece of it.
Bang on. It's great to see my whole cards or what?
So like 7-5, 7-6, something like that. Something like that, yeah.
Sounds like they're both having fun. They're both grinning and laughing you. Ace 5 and Jack 7.
Call.
Just limps on the button.
Raise to 20.
Carl raised to 15, it looks like.
Call.
20.
So now when you raise on the button and you don't get 3-bet, here's where removing hands from Eric's range. Does Eric ever have aces? No. Does Eric ever have queens? No. Does Eric ever have 10s? No. Does Eric ever have ace queen? Well, he did just limp ace king, so... But this is a board that favors the button's opening range versus Eric not 3-betting, right? So. Now any 9 or a king. So he double gutted, but Eric lets it go. It's a disciplined laydown to the 8-out draw. Because, I mean, even if the straight comes, are you going to get paid off when there's a 4-card straight out there anyway, which is always the question, right? I hit my hand, but it's super obvious.
You had an ace though, but I'm not going to float face cards.
Queen 7 of hearts for Carl.
Raise
And
15.
3 deuce of hearts.
Put some hearts out there. What?
How do you fold 3 deuce of hearts?
That's a 3-betting hand all day, baby. All day. Actually, during your match with Carl, Chris was saying that you have a fondness. I've used the word fondness a lot already in our stream here, but you do enjoy the smaller suited connectors, the wheel cards quite a bit.
Well, four deuce is my favorite.
That's
hand.
what I heard.
I've hit a few straight flushes in my life with 4 deuce.
A 2x4. All right. Looks like Eric's gonna raise it up.
It's to 11 again, so he's like doing 2.1.
Re-raise 35.
Ray raised to 30.
Call.
I think he said 35, but yeah, 3-bet and a call. So what do we have? King Jack, and what's Eric's hand? Sorry.
Check.
So Carl 3-betting the King Jack. Flop goes check, and a 3-bet pot. Turns the Jack.
Eric has Jack 4, so we could probably see some fireworks here. Hopefully.
Yeah, gonna continue for sure. And Carl has the King of Clubs buried. It's gonna be hard for Eric to get away from this depending on the bet size.
Not just check. I'm not sure. Carl missed the audio there betting the river again.
Yeah, he doesn't know that Eric also has top pair there, so that's tough.
But Carl didn't do it because of that. Carl did it because he's afraid of the 6, like the 6 paired on the river, and I think that's why.
In your match with Carl, it was absurd how many turn cards were pairing the board, and you guys were connecting with trips and stuff. So there was actually quite a bit, which we already saw in this match with the King 7.
9 to 5.
Raise to 30.
Moving on to the next set.
Six, 7, and 8, 5. between the 4 cards, got 80% of a straight.
Raise 11. Re-raise to 30.
Carl is actually getting a little more aggressive.
I like
there.
Carl's 3-betting hand here with 6-7, and now he can rep all these big cards because he is 3-betting. He can rep aces, kings, queens, ace king, ace queen, pocket eights, all those hands with 3-bet pre-flop. Erick has a piece though, and he's gonna see another card. So now here's where, depending on the turn card, it's one of those situations where you almost don't want to improve because you know you have to bluff. Here, Carl got a piece and he wants to show down, and unfortunately it's gonna be in Erick's favor. So whereas if he had not connected at all, he might have barreled off to bluff and it probably would have got through.
I wonder if Eric's strategy with his small pre-flop raises is anticipating Carl 3-betting a lot, but I don't know why he would anticipate Carl 3-betting a lot, because in the previous match versus me, I don't think ever 3-bet, maybe once the entire match or something. So, but it seems like maybe he's just doing the small raise in order to be able to see more flops versus Carl's 3-bet.
Could be. I mean, typically, I mean, this is a format too, is a sit and go. When I'm playing heads up, I usually do cash. I'm going 4 times the size of my opponent's open when I 3-bet, sometimes even bigger. So it's a good observation. I mean, I guess that it still applies enough pressure, especially in a sit and go format, right? You don't have to go 3.5, 4x for 3-bet because you're trying to conserve your stack size. So maybe the smaller 3-bet is effective. We got ace queen and 7-8 here.
My kings earlier too. Call.
You got my sevens.
They're at 5-10 now, so he just limped. So this is the second time now Eric's limped with big hand. He's
Trying to trap, yeah.
We don't see the flop, Pookie.
Do I have to hit refresh here, or what's going on? Did I lose? Sorry, I'm trying to see what happened here. Why do we not have the flop cam just unplugged?
There's no flop on there.
Why is everyone... What happened here? We might have technical difficulties.
You don't see
The flop cam, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Ask them, text them.
You want to message them? I don't know what happened. Why is
Well,
one word...
Pookie realizes it.
Yeah. I don't understand what happened to the flop cam. Did something come unplugged?
The lights are on.
Yeah, we lost the... Yeah.
Lights are on.
Very odd.
Do we know why? Do we want to pause the game? Ask them if we want to pause the game.
We
Okay, we'll finish this hand and then break. Yeah.
Finish this hand and we'll figure this out. Alright, so
Okay,
you ready?
yeah.
I'll just see if someone bumped a chord.
So we don't know the flop is here, but I'm assuming ace queen might probably be winning.
Call.
It calls.
Straight.
Oh, looks like Carl's 8-7. Oh, he made a straight, probably versus one pair player.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened here, but
You write that?
Yeah, sorry guys, we might have to take a quick break here. Again, we're trying to make this work with just a couple webcams and a few streams. It's very, very odd that the flop cam just died.
Probably just froze.
We might need to restart Carl's OBS. Nothing should change. That's another thing we can do. But if we restart Carl's OBS, then the stream drops. Yeah, he's calling me right now. Hey, buddy. Yeah, super weird. The flop just died here, eh? I'm not too sure why. Normally just closing OBS and opening it will reconnect the cameras. The problem is the stream will drop and then we'll have to reconnect the stream. So we might have to do that, and then I'll just switch to another screen here, to the announcer screen, and me and Anthony will entertain everyone for a minute or two. So try just, closing out of OBS. You'll have to, or stop your stream, close out of OBS, open it back up, make sure the cameras are working, and then just hit the start stream on the right-hand side there. So as soon as you close the OBS, we lost the two cameras, which is fine. And then you'll open OBS again. Okay, so the cameras are back, but we lost the stream because we closed OBS. So you need to hit start stream on the right-hand side there. In the bottom right corner of OBS, there's the controls. The third one down, or second one down, should say start streaming. Okay, so we'll give it it usually has a bit of a lag. There's probably 10 seconds or so, and then we'll let you know, okay, we're back up and running. Yep, we can see everything. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, everything looks good. We're back in business. Okay, yep, bye. All right, sorry for that, guys. Some technical difficulties for whatever reason. The camera dropped. That's it. I'm getting rid of those two cameras I bought. I want my Logitech C920s. They're 4 or 5 years old, but they're still the better camera.
I think that's actually the one that I bought.
The C920?
I think so.
There's a 922. There's a few versions, but if you've got any of those 900 versions, like they were the #1 rated camera for streamers for a number of years. So it is a good camera.
My reads, I'm
920.
very happy.
There you go. That's the ones I've used for years and years.
This was paid for with Carl's money. This was paid for with Carl's money. I didn't have anything set up for the stream. They wanted me to do commentary. I'm like, okay, well, I got a lot of Carl chicken dollars here that I can go buy
chicken dollars
just to commentate his next defeat.
That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta brag a little bit, right? That's the whole point.
That's 7-5 for Carl. I'm not sure what Erick's hand is. Erick bets out. Carl calls. Pocket 4s for Erick. So
interesting. It's gonna be hard for both players to continue here.
50.
Does Erick sniff something out? Is he going, you're not that strong. Should I get creative?
I wonder if it's gonna be.
How big's your hand there?
I was gonna say, I was wondering if Carl's gonna sniff out, because this is the first time Erick's really showed any aggression, and maybe want to just call down regardless of his holdings, just to see one way or the other if his aggression's with a good hand or not. That's kind of what my strategy would be: is call down a few hands early on and see how he's decided to play.
Yeah, it's very important to see what your opponent's getting to the river with. I 100% agree. If you can get that info, it's very helpful. Yeah, the camera I'm working with front and center for mine, it's still Logitech. I went with a Logitech Brio. It's a 4K camera with quite a few different settings. But again, it's new, but I used the C20 for 4 years, so... Anyways, let's get back to the action here. Enough about technical difficulties and cameras. Let's get back to the poker. As Anthony eats a pretzel, probably the same bag from the previous match.
That's a different bag.
Different bag. 8-9 for Erick. And Carl's got 7-8.
Nothing for anybody really.
And looks like we have a random viewer in chat spamming a company or website. Want to become famous? Buy some followers. Always crucial to buy your followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollows.com. Hope you enjoyed that. Shout out to your plug on your website there. FH Gandalf.
$5 play.
All right. Castleman with the 10-3.
Go ahead,
6-2.
roll some garbage. Looking for garbage.
Again,
Check.
this is a limped pot, so whoever bets first should win.
Oh, that's
15.
That's not garbage.
Hold those garbage. There's a 4 in there. There's a garbage.
I need less than that.
I got 3.
And a deuce.
Oh, it was 3 deuce earlier too. 3 flop, 3 deuce of hearts even.
Eric proud of his
I think I'm gonna
3 deuce
bluff this
fold.
one.
Thank you. You could say it
All right,
yourself.
let's see what we got going on here.
Here comes a leg.
Queen 4.
Big bluff.
He's
Raise to 30.
So she a 3 bet,
raise to
and he actually
75?
does to 100. 75. Okay.
3 bet by Eric.
Call.
Carl defends. We're seeing a flop. Speaking of Queen 4,
And he flops the nuts, but then Eric's gonna c-bet. Now Carl should.
85.
Honestly, if I was Carl here, I'd raise.
you can't blame Eric for c-betting. I mean, it's a pretty dry board. You got a rainbow board. There's no flush draws, no straight draws. Either he has a pair or a queen.
And Eric picks up to 7, so he's gonna lose a little more here, but there's not a lot.
Like, it can go either way with the ace-7.
110.
He could bet, he could check.
If I were Eric, I would definitely check, but you notice here, Carl's pausing here. It's going to be probably a heftier raise, probably to around 350 or something.
Call.
Ooh. He's got the board so gridlocked. I mean, you want your opponent to have kings or aces, right? So, or ace queen or king queen. Carl going for value here. Question is, how much does he bet?
I guess Eric checked.
300. Call.
Snap.
Wow. And
Got him, boys.
Eric has a little egg on his face there.
You can hear Eric muttering under his breath. Queen 4.
Little crap hand.
So Carl has a sizable chip lead now, so there could be a bunch of spots where he's just gonna
Your 10. Call.
Yeah, I
put
believe
Eric
it.
all in, or vice versa. Eric might just start shoving quite liberally now.
It looks like it's about 1700 to 300 or something like that. So
Yeah, pretty close to.
Hurt.
Carl will get a chance or two. Just he'll call off something light, trying to take a 60-40 flip.
I get the left leg on that one. What'd you have on that one?
Shout out to Duct Tape for securing our mic arm, making this possible. 8 deuce and 6-3. Eric's up and down.
15.
Carl takes a stab.
Call.
It's up and open ender.
It's check, check. So now it's really interesting. Board double pairs, and Carl's gonna win.
For Eric, that's like the second or third, maybe fourth time where he picks up equity on turn card and decides to check it back. I think he needs to be betting when he actually picks up equity on turns instead of just trying to check and hit something and then giving up on the hand.
Aggression is normally favored or rewarded.
That did work out.
All right, let's go here. Let's see what we got.
Call.
8-3 versus 10-5. Let's have some hearts on the board.
30.
Second time Both players picking up hearts.
Big hands, I can't help it.
Call.
Notice a lot of threes connecting. Whenever a player has a 3 in their hand, it seems to connect. Carl's got to watch his tower of chips. They might come crashing down. It's been wobbling there.
Check.
Check.
And Eric hits the river. But it'll probably go check.
Check.
Yeah, 10's gonna take it.
River rat. I was beating you the whole way. At a 3, what are you talking about? Beating me the whole way. At a pair, you had 10 high.
I can see the forecast, Trevor.
You knew that 10.
Oh yeah, I was just
Never checked.
turning the volume up a smidge there. It must be a new update too. The task tray now has the weather that pops up. New Microsoft Windows update. Got 10-7 against the 9-4. A couple of premium hands here.
Call.
I knew you had garbage for raising me out of that position with that shit. 10-5 suited. Garbage.
Eric hits 9.
15.
So each
Call 15.
player has a piece here.
Check.
Check.
Queen. Oh, I called for it. Look at that.
30.
Carl getting cute with his hand here.
Feel like
Oh, he has the 10. Never mind, 7-10. Sorry.
yeah. I feel like Eric's gonna think that he's bluffing. No,
He chose a 9.
There we go.
folds a 9 and folds.
There we go.
That Carl's gonna show a 7. Oh, he shows him the 10.
Snip that one out.
So when playing heads up, generally you want to be playing around
The sniffer nose on.
80-85% of your hands. But I don't think I've seen anybody fold even their worst hands pre-flop. Nobody's just let one go yet. Everybody.
I think you're right.
just decides-
Well, part of that's also because they're limping, right? Like even if the button just min raises. Speaking of nice hands, Carl's got kings here versus the Randy yet again, which is why you should at least min raise, if not 2.5x, because you're letting the 8 deuce see a flop for free just by limping, and
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like you either, if your hand's that bad that you want to limp, you should be folding it. Like you should be raising or folding. I think maybe I limped one hand the entire heads up match versus Carl. I know as commentary you guys were saying that we were limping a lot, but it was actually just you guys having a harder time seeing the chips.
I probably, yeah. Like I know there is a limping strategy if you want to, and I think there is some EV to be had. It's a harder strategy to execute and be balanced, and I think just opening to 2.5x
15.
with your whole range minus some of the garbage, like you said, like 15% of the hands, 10% of the hands, whether you play 85 or 90%, open at 2.5x, you're kind of balanced and even no matter what. But like limping gets fun. Like it's a harder strategy to execute, I think, because you got to limp re-raise with garbage, you got to limp re-raise with good stuff, you got to limp call. It's just a tougher strategy to execute for marginally different EV.
Eric has a queen here, and Carl river to 6. And
Clubs get there.
Call. Queen.
Queen.
Does 3 pair beat?
Trips. Not in this game.
the one thing about these stream games that will be going on probably for the foreseeable future is the majority of players don't have a lot of heads-up experience whatsoever. Like, I think out of our group of players, I think you and Juan probably have by far the most heads-up experience of playing. I probably think I have the third, and I don't have very much at all. I probably played 15,000 heads-up hands in my life or something. Guys
Okay.
like Carl and Eric here have probably played less than 500 or 1,000 heads-up hands ever, I would guess.
Bet of 30.
Yeah, I don't know how much each player from our kind of group of poker players or poker friends here have played with regards to heads up. I know Wayne or Toothpick did play a fair bit back in the day, so he's duked it out quite a bit on the virtual felt as far as heads up goes. So he's logged some hands. You're right. I've predominantly when I play online, it's heads up or shorthanded. I just prefer it. You get more hands in. You're figuring out when third pair is good, when fourth pair is good, when it's complete air, when you're calling with high card more. You can't sit back and wait. You are fighting for every pot, which I find just absolutely fun. But yeah, for the last 15 years, I've logged thousands and thousands, if not millions of hands, heads up or 6 max or shorter. But not so much in the sit and go arena, which is what this format is. It's mostly heads up cash.
Yeah.
A little bit different. I heard the ding. Carl's got a text there. Was not from me.
They both got the ding. They're both looking, and they got their people saying that play some hands.
Someone simultaneously texted them at the same time. All right, we got
Queen 4 versus Jack 6. Limp call.
Queen 4 has been performing well this match.
Was it Carl again, or was this Eric this time?
It's Eric this time.
He checked. It's checking in the dark. And it's checking in the dark.
Set of 15.
See here, you got 2 pair. Do you bump it up or you flat?
Raise to 50.
We'll check Rizzle.
I'll let your queen 4 get there again. No.
Yeah, Carl doesn't have enough to continue.
Chipping away over here.
Yeah. This is a completely different Carl than he played me, though. Like, I can just tell he's been far more aggressive in this match than he was versus me.
I had
But the reason for that, I don't know. But he's just completely more how I expected him to play. A lot of aggressive, a lot of little stabbing, little bluffs.
The flop cabinet.
Is how
Could be part 2 that he's settling in, right? That first match, it's on the stream, you're getting kind of like what's going on, and there's cameras, and you could be just sort of, you say it doesn't affect you, but I think it does a little bit.
Our flop cam froze again.
Oh my goodness.
Restart.
Wow. I apologize, guys. Like I said, I bought 2 new cameras, but apparently they're shit. So...
Maybe because it's pulled so far.
No, it's probably just timing out. They probably will end up needing to restart it a few times,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Ask him if he wants us to
You
restart.
can just message them that whenever it freezes, just...
I'm doing that right now, like we did last time. Alright, I'm going to switch screen, guys. I do apologize. Like I said, I have 4 cameras. 2 of them are the Logitech, which are the whole card cams, which are a little bit better. I bought 2 more thinking they were okay, but clearly not as good as we need them to be. So I do apologize for the technical difficulties. They are going to reset it right now and then send us a message. I might just buy new cameras if we're going to keep doing this. We can't have that happen. It's just silly. You'd expect them to work, but you don't know until you run into it, right? So
while we're killing time here, when's Trevor going to get into the arena and out of the booth and play somebody?
Good question. I would love to. I think in the next few weeks I'll probably resurface into the mix and start playing again. As far as the heads up matches go, I would love it. I know there's been some interest with, me and possibly Aaron or whoever and duking it out and getting a little wild and crazy. I think once we refine the process and make sure that there's no more glitches, I mean, we're sort of involved and we know how many cameras and what's going on. It's a bit overwhelming if you don't know that shit. But if we set it all up and someone just hops in the booth, then maybe I can jump on the green felt there and let's just go back. We're waiting for them to hit start stream. Hit start stream. You know what's funny is we were like, oh, it's going to look a little bit better this time around because we're going to use all 4 cameras. Last time we used Carl's laptop as one of the cameras and your phone, which are outperforming the 2 cameras that I bought, which is very sad. Not seeing the flop cam right now. Oh, they said good to go now, so...
They just need to hit the stream.
Okay, once...
And we're going back live. Yeah,
Okay,
we're back.
We're back.
We're back. We're back. Yeah, I definitely think you and Aaron would be an interesting one that I would like to commentate on, because you guys are both more of the GTO style thinking of ranges, whereas I'm definitely more of an exploitative style. I'm more of the live read exploitative versus. I'll play 10 different matches versus 10 different guys, and I play each one differently. Whereas I think you and Aaron are both like, what's the right decision in the situation, and just going with that, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, live reads are a thing. Playing your opponent, playing the person, for sure. I mean, I have sort of a base default strategy of just, I know mathematically these hands perform X amount of ways, so I kind of start from there, and then you make adjustments. So that's kind of been my approach for a long time. But I mean, sometimes it just gets absolutely wild and crazy. There's no rhyme or reason to it, which is what makes it so fun. We've got a comment in the chat from I'm Jewy, who has said, I've never played Heads Up. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that statement. I know for a fact you've played some Heads Up, and I'm quite certain you have some matches coming soon. Hopefully we can stream them with cameras that work.
Juwan wants to challenge the champ. If he plays against somebody and wins, then he can definitely get a shot at the title. He has to play at least one match for somebody else, and then I will play that person. Play whoever wins. Somebody has to earn their chance.
It's like you gotta beat so many. It's like in boxing or MMA, you gotta beat so many opponents to earn your shot at the title.
Well, I had my grudge match with Chris, and then Carl wanted to challenge me. I'm like, hey, I'll put my belt on the line. It's been a while, but I want to see a lot of other people play some games, and I will take on anybody once somebody wins a match.
I want to get back to the poker. I'm looking at the chat. I'm going to message. We've got Ace 9 here for Carl versus the old Jack 5 for Eric. Raising the fold. Next hand.
We got. I think a lot more people are going to be watching this one on the replay. I know a lot of people are out of town or had other things today, so the live chat isn't as active today.
Very true. We are, like I said, 2 in the afternoon start time for a very warm, hot, sunny weekend. So a lot of people could be.
For Eric.
Yeah, I just text them that it's sad that Anthony's camera outperformed these cameras, and he saw Carl there read the text chuckling.
Versus pocket fours. But Jack 4 versus pocket fours. If we can hit the case 4 on a 4-high board, it might be interesting.
Check.
Well,
Check.
Both players checking here. I don't mind the check back with 4s and then a small stab.
30. Raise to 80.
Interesting. Eric getting a little out of line here.
Maybe he thinks he has diamonds, but he does not. That's a hard one.
Or he just picks something up. Did you find in your match, did you find any bet sizing tells? I know bet sizing is more of an online thing for sure, but like, for example, Carl stabbing a whole bunch, is there like, oh, I stab with this size, but then I make it this size when I have value? Did you pick up on anything like that, or is that wasn't so much a thing?
Not bet sizing, bet timing is a huge thing.
Timing, interesting.
20. And you're 10.
All right, picking up some pocket pairs here for Carl. 4s previous hand, 3s now. We got 5 deuce of diamonds by Eric.
Versus, I believe it's 3s for Carl.
Call.
So if we see a low flop, could be interesting.
100 chips in the middle. Speaking of the 5 Dewey, you got to think that's a decent enough flop for 3s as well.
Bet a 50.
Eric can go either way here, a flat or a raise. There's a lot of draws, clubs. 3-4, 4-6.
Shove, he only has about 350.
Raise to 205.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting the stack sizes. You're correct.
Interesting.
I think Carl just said interesting because there's like a lot of draws, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of draws I don't know.
Freaking bet.
But you got to fade those draws too.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Nice hand.
The problem with betting the way that Eric did there is that he's pot committing himself, so Carl can never rejam over the top. So I think Eric should either shove or do a smaller raise.
Like a min
He
click.
he bet like 250 or something. I tried to min click a few times versus Carl, it didn't work.
He's getting a good price to continue, yeah. Got king queen here.
Versus ace deuce. Could see a bet and a re-raise.
Raise to 45.
Keeps putting on the gas. Putting on the gas.
Wow.
Glad throwing some fire in the. I heard it. Yeah, is it throwing some shade? I heard that on the TV show. Throwing some shade in the chat, which is kind of funny. And thank you for the reminder, though. Glad I gotta tune into the hands and focus on the commentary. Sometimes we have a little too much fun in the booth.
Raise to 145.
We got a job to do here. We got to commentate. So we got the ace deuce.
Carl
Opening it up, it
three-bet
looks like Carl 3-betting obviously with a king queen. Eric has a decision now. He's got an ace. He's gonna go for it.
Well, I think he just has to shove. He can't fold an ace heads up.
How much more is it to him to flat? It looks like he's making the call. Someone opening a twisted T off to the side.
He flops an ace, but now Eric doesn't get any more action. If he jams pre-flop, he gets his ace and he doubles up. No, he gets it.
Oh! Carl representing the ace. Glad in the chat. Offering to hop in the booth. We can definitely look into it. I just want to iron out these technical difficulties. No more camera drops. Audio
Glad.
issues.
Oh, king on the
There
turn.
is hope. The old 5-outer. Oh my goodness. What a suck out. That is painful if you're Eric.
And Carl pulled, summoned some of Mark's powers and goes runner.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn up the volume here to see if there's.
Unless Eric wants to wash and break or something, but we'll have to count the chips back up.
Yeah.
They're just divvying it up. That is some insanely bad luck for Eric there. I mean, Carl needs 2 perfect cards. The ace on the board, he has to hit a 10 or a jack to do the running straight, or a king or a queen to do the running pair or trips. And he did just that. So.
What the hell? Alright, so that's 4, 5.
All right, so while they're recounting up the chips, guys, we'll go back to the match details. If you're just tuning in, this is a best of 5 heads up sit and go match. Each player putting up $1,000, $2,000 going to the. I'm watching the chat. You guys are having some fun. Going to the winner.
Need $80, right?
They'd looked at changing the blind levels or the structure from the previous match just to allow a little bit more playability, but instead we kept the blind levels identical to the first match, and we just made it a best of 5 instead of a best of 3.
Yeah. It's a huge group.
All right, sounds like they're still divvying everything up.
So 1-0 for Carl, and we move on for the second one. So that reached, I believe we're at 5-10 range there. Maybe there was at the 10-20. We're really getting close to the 10-20 blind levels.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and I think we discussed that. I mean, what do you start with? I like the idea that we're each putting up $1,000, so let's start with 1,000 in chips. I get the kind of the thinking, but you can do number of hands, you can bring out a timer, you can do number of matches. There's different ways to increase sort of the duration of the play.
The problem with timer and the heads up is that you have people who could be delaying it in order to get advantage when the blinds raise, or if they're a person who likes a deeper stack. That's why
True.
I personally picked the hand limit. That way there's no point in delaying time.
Makes sense. I mean, that's a strategy too. Just run out the clock on your opponent. Get to the big blinds.
So it's Heyman is glad.
I should have known that. I think we've chatted a few times. I think Heyman's been dabbling a smidge too in the streaming streets, only for certain games. He's a bit of a gamer there, and he's got a much stronger PC than myself. I need to do some upgrades. I feel like I'm falling behind. Looks like they're almost ready to shuffle up and deal, so round one going to Carl by an absolute fluke.
Well, you pretty much did do your queen 6. I know, we had the same fucking move.
5 deuce, soft deuce.
Raise to 6. Alright. Call.
If you guys are reading the chat, Glad86 saying, Trevor, the 2019 Xmas heads-up champ, 5-2 versus 6-9. Not a whole lot going on. It'll be very dependent on the turn card. Is ready to defend. We hosted a heads-up tournament at my place pre-COVID with a bracket. He did some stuff on YouTube as far as the draw for the bracket. A couple different tables. It was a great success and a big fun party afterwards. And from that bracket, Glad86 took it down, and then I finished second place. So it was a fun heads-up tournament. I think we all put up $300. We had some side prizes. It was a fun time. All right, we got the Jack 6 for Eric, the 7-5 of spades for Carl on the button, electing to limp. Hitting a 7.
Check. Got a 3. Call.
King.
Not.
Check.
Eric floated the flop. And
Check.
just floated to call down with his jack.
Yeah. I mean, Carl rivering 2 pair there. It's not going to get any action, unfortunately. I wonder how much of the checking, like how much check trapping is going on versus it's a genuine check, I have nothing. Like, is there some at some point where you're like, my opponent checks, I bet, and that's just, you just do it because the check is so genuinely weak. I don't know if there's much of that going on, but 5-3 and King 10. Eric with the 5-3.
Raise to 5. Re-raise to 20.
Pookie verbalizing. Eric raises to 5 on the button. Carl re-raises to 20 from the big blind. Call by Eric.
Eric out flops Carl.
5-7-2 with 2 spades.
Bet of 25.
Carl probably float here.
25.
Carl floating with 2 overs and the king of spades. Turn 3 of diamonds.
So I believe that's 2 pair now for Eric. He has 5. What is it? 5-2 or 5-3?
I believe it was the 5 tray, if I'm not mistaken. Bet of 100 takes it down. Shout out to ourselves. I like that I programmed Nightbot to say that we're doing a good job for this broadcast.
5 deuce again versus Jack 4. I think Pookie needs to do a better job of giving some action hands to these players.
Yeah, let's get a full wash new deck, please. Jack 4, also known as flat tire. Eric pairing the deuce on the turn. Queen 8, king, deuce, king. You gotta think your deuce is good here.
Fold. What if I put this over here? Oh, wait. Wherever you want it.
Let's keep that
Ace king for Carl
Raise to
and 69 for Eric. Carl's gonna 3-bet and just take this down.
Raise to 25.
Eric
Oh,
defending.
Call.
Again, one of those boards where
Bet a 50.
Eric really just never has a strong hand on ace queen 10. You got to imagine he'd be raising aces, queens, tens, ace queen, ace 10 suited, all those hands pre-flop. So when you don't and that flop comes down, you're eliminating a lot of hands unless you're getting very trappy. We've seen a little bit, but not a lot.
Hope so. Feeling like a bluff, boys. Feeling like a bluff.
King Jack diamonds
This one.
versus
Raise to
King
10.
3 hearts.
Two pretty hands, suited kings.
Queen 4, so no call.
Just flat.
Queen 4. Oh, looks pretty much like.
And her
The flop is gone again.
Oh,
flop
fuck.
is screwed in.
We'll finish this hand and then we'll
Okay.
deal with it.
Oh, it did it again? My goodness.
Yeah.
I do apologize, guys. I did not think there was going to be this many issues. I bought
Bet a
fairly decent cameras with their proper cables to extend them. It's getting a little silly here. We didn't have these issues last time, but we used Carl's laptop and Anthony's phone. So I
Eric bets 50.
may actually take these cameras back. I didn't think we'd have to.
Carl calls 50.
They're pretty shitty, as we are finding out.
Bet a 50.
Yeah, bet and call. They probably have a king.
Eric shows king with the 3 kicker. Carl shows king with the jack kicker.
Yeah. They both flop the king, and nothing Eric could really do there.
We have to get this one closer so we can...
Alright guys, we're gonna wait for them to reset it again. I do apologize. It's getting a little silly here. Third reset. I wish I kept the boxes. I just kind of figured, how can you go wrong with a camera? Like, they're pretty decent.
Is it, whose laptop are we using for that one? Is that,
So the
Carl?
whole card cams are actually rigged to Erick's laptop. And then the flop cam and the wide angle cam are rigged to Carl's laptop. So I'm just texting them here. So Carl texted me saying they're going to try changing out one of the cables. I bought lots. Like, I have brand new connections and cables in here. Little kit that I brought. I got the mic arm, 4 cameras, some extension cables so that, you know, I think the standard cable comes with 3 feet or whatever. So I bought some 6-footers because you don't know what you're going to run into. So there's like 3 or 4 brand new cables, not even opened, with twist ties still. So they're going to swap one of the cables out. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better. I do apologize. We try. I try to make sure things are flawless, but clearly that's not happening. It's not the case today.
It could just be that the one camera or the one core though, because the other one isn't glitching out. It's the same one every time. It's not like it's the flop sometimes.
Very true. And it looks like they bumped the laptop as well, so you can see the main screen is now crooked. But yeah, you're right. One camera is working. I would have instantly bought more Logitech C920s, but they didn't have any. I literally just went to, you know, Best Buy and Staples for these ones, thinking, you know, they should be decent enough for our purposes, but clearly not. So sorry, guys.
The reason why I bought this one is because it's literally the only camera that they had in the store, and I needed a webcam. I'm like, okay, well, this is the one.
You got a good one. You definitely got a good one. Yeah, for sure.
Do you know if there's any other side bets or anything along with this one aside from the $2,000?
I haven't heard much. There usually is. I mean, most of the time there's some other action on the side from people betting on pretty much anything in our circles. If Give me something to bet on. We're gonna place a wager, right? So
I'm just. This one came about on very short notice. It was just like, I don't know any backstory about where the challenge came from, or if there's any side wagers. And I was just wondering if you knew anything about that, but I guess.
okay, sorry, I don't. I'm just gonna text the boys here. They're still, yeah. All right. So let's go over to the info screen one more time. Match details again. Well, we've got technical difficulties. It is a best of 5. And Carl up 1 match so far with a ridiculous run out on the turn in the river. Ace high board, Eric with ace deuce. Carl king queen goes running king queen.
Yeah, so I actually put that into the odds calculator. I don't remember the exact suits or anything, but that's about 3%er that Carl went and hit to win the first match.
Boys, Carl posing a question: should we use one of our phones for the flop cam? Because he does have a point. If this keeps happening, it's going to be very, very frustrating. It might just be the one camera's a dud, because like you said, the other one doesn't.
The problem with that is the reason why we use the flop cam or the camera is we had it separate Twitch. We already got 2 Twitches going for the other camera, so they would need a 3rd Twitch for you to do. So that's not really going to work.
Yeah, we got whole card. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Carl, how's it going? Yeah, I apologize, guys. This is kind of shitty. Like, the 2 cameras that I bought, I thought they'd be good, but apparently they're duds. Yeah, if it keeps happening, you're right. We got a bunch of matches to go, and this is going to be shitty. But the thing is, then we would need a 3rd stream, because we got 1 from your laptop, 1 from Erick's, then 1 from the phone. Okay, so you just got to hit start streaming, and then I'll pick it up, and then you might have to adjust the laptop angle just because it looks like it got bumped there, but yeah. I do apologize. I don't know what the heck the stupid, like, I bought decent cameras. They were just out of the Logitech ones, and these ones are shit.
Having technical difficulties. One of the cameras keeps on like freezing.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just waiting for you guys. I'm still... Yeah. I gotta wait a couple seconds for the lag. Whole card cams are good. Main camera good. Just waiting on the flop cam to catch up. It's rebooting. We're back here. So yeah, sorry about that. I mean, this is just, I feel bad for the viewers. This is shit fucking cameras. I will buy better ones for the next one, so. Oh, for sure, yeah. Like, I mean, I bought extra long ones because, I mean, I didn't know how far we needed to run stuff. So that could be a connection in the cable. It very well could be. Yeah, Anthony, I just heard his toilet flush, so that's great for the viewers. But, all right. You guys can shuffle up and deal here. All right, thanks, boys.
You heard a toilet flush. I thought I had my thing on mute. I guess it is. Like, guys. I got my mic here, I got my mic here, and I got the mic on the camera, so I guess one of them picked it up.
So have you checked the chat here? Surprise, it's Jesse. This looks cool, guys. I will be sending you a raid from Poker News in about 15 minutes.
Raise to 10.
Will it be live? You caught us right during technical difficulties. So Jack 8 of clubs for Eric.
Raise to 40.
So a shout out to Jesse. We
Call 40.
I bought 4 webcams. 2 of them turned out to be finicky and duds at the moment. So
Eric with 8 of clubs and Jack of clubs. It's like
Bet of 55.
okay. Now
Carl's.
Carl's
yeah,
webcam is not working.
yeah. There's no. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is what happens when you try and run a broadcast with 4 webcams and 1 or 2 mics. Sometimes she ain't perfect.
So, and it's only Carl, so maybe he just knock something, possibly. Hey, well, this way we can try and guess what Carl has.
Yeah, I feel bad for the boys here. It's being silly.
Also, not working. This is on my laptop. Wow.
What's that?
No, yours.
Oh yeah, yours is off. Is it not plugged in? Just check the plug.
This is great for content. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
Too many people moving around, kicking cords.
No, it's over here. What do we do? Like,
Yeah.
like, do we have to get stop stream and start streaming? We probably do, right?
Wonder if, is it this one or the other one? I'm confused.
That one works.
Yeah.
This
One
one
works?
doesn't, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just do the same thing we've been doing.
At least Eric
Yeah.
seems to know a little bit about technology, so you got somebody there who's,
We should have a.
Yeah, we're doing this from like 3 locations, guys, right? So we've got Anthony phoning in, coordinating with me with like, you know, Google Meets, sharing webcams, putting it all together. And then we got
We're good. Thanks.
the boys playing poker with all their webcams, trying to broadcast and pick it all up and put it into one nice stream, but it's giving us a headache, which last time it didn't, but what can you do?
so, Trevor, you'll have to refresh your, there you go.
Hey, check.
Check.
Okay, so we're back here?
Then we got 7 deuce for Eric and
And 5.
6-4 for Carl.
Call 5.
Got a 5.
Bet of 5. Call 5.
Huge.
7. Okay.
And 7 do evens.
All right. No more technical issues. Let's get back on track here. I'm gonna throw out the fucking cameras once this is done. We're gonna buy some new ones.
Our next message should be tell them to get more aggressive so it ends earlier.
Yeah, we're back down to the best of 3, guys, due to technical issues. Sorry about that.
We'll get better and better.
Yeah.
Do more matches.
No,
Yeah.
it is a best of 5.
We don't have the problem.
Just silly. I normally stick with top brands, and I'm like, these are just gonna be for whole card cams or whatever. They should be good.
Chips closer to you.
Clearly
Carl
don't.
should probably 3-bet here. This
Cheap
is
out.
Raise to 20.
It's good.
Call 20.
King 6 for Eric. Carl flops a gutter.
Bet of 30.
I'm afraid of
Eric's
this.
gonna float. Eric likes floating a lot of hands. And he never takes advantage when it gets checked to him. It's very strange.
I feel like Pookie needs his duct tape line back to push the flop up a little.
Gutter ball.
Yeah, Eric likes floating a lot of flops, but he doesn't take advantage when Carl checks the turn.
Receiving a text from Anders inquiring if there's a timeout feature on the camera.
Hold on. It's
Don't imagine there would be, but I don't know. Like I said, it's
I don't know why.
Bought the camera, I plug it in, it works. That's kind of as far as I go. It's supposed to, anyway. I can mess around with settings as long as it works, but I don't know why it's not. King 10, or Jack 10-7. Yeah, the camera's not even focusing.
Carl flops a straight here, and Eric has second pair, so this could be a decently large pot again, not going Eric's way.
Check in the dark.
Eric checks. Carl's gonna bet, and Eric probably should call again.
Call 30.
And that could slow down Eric's call, yeah.
Oh, much better. Much better.
That's a nuts.
That was a bad river for Carl.
Yeah.
Flop it.
Eric played it very passively.
2-5 her.
Yes, I did, Eric. 89.
You're dodging bullets here.
Flop that mother. We're at a new level?
Yep.
Big pair.
I just messaged them one last time. I'm trying not to interrupt, but at the same time, I told the boys to deal a smidge higher and then maybe stick his hand in front of the camera so that it autofocuses.
Well, the focus thing is fine. I mean, if it's out of focus, we can still make out the card.
Yeah, but it should reset as with something as simple as just giving it a benchmark.
Yeah, deal a little higher, smidge higher. And he says stick your hand in front of the flop cam to autofocus.
Oh, okay.
Dodge my nuts, eh? Pop the nuts straight.
Alright.
Kind of like what I did to Anthony and Anthony when I had the quads. Like, I think you're bluffing, Carl. I have quad 8.
Jesse, have you considered Poker GFX or other software? The $20,000 fix, Jesse, yes, I have. I have looked at the exact company to order the RFID technology, rip apart my table, put all of that into the works, and then mics for absolutely everyone, and about 7 or 8 cameras, and then new decks of cards with a film in between to read the RFID, and then the poker chips. Do we have the dealer tell us the size of the bet, or do we buy all new poker chips? Yes, I have 100% looked into it and opted not to spend 20 grand. So this is the plan B version, four cameras and a couple of mics. But I would love to do it.
Lines are up, right?
Raid in 5 minutes. Good luck, y'all.
Yeah, you're 2.
Alright. I'm going to let you take over there for a second, Anthony. I'm going to run to the washroom real quick. So I'll give you the reins. I'll be right back.
8-3 off for Eric and 6-7 for Carl. Raise 15 and fold. Right now it looks like Carl has probably a $400 chip lead. Queen deuce for Eric. We're min raises to 10. Carl was 7-6. Gonna 3-bet probably to 40. No, just flats. Carl flops bottom pair. Carl's probably gonna check call again here. Eric shuts it down. And Carl takes down the pot with the 6. King 7 versus 8-3. Eric flops an 8. Carl is busy texting, so Eric will probably just bet and take this pot down.
All right, gents, I'm back. What'd I miss?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I figure we can charge $15 a month for this, like Poker Go. It's got to be up there. It's got to be close, really.
I think people would pay for it once we get it out. Once we get enough, we need to do a little more publicity for like pre-match pressers for some.
Let's get some publicity going, some hype for the matches.
Yeah, some stage fights, some weigh-ins.
Actually, I checked the stream from my phone. It doesn't look terrible. Given the glitches, which are horrible, there's 3 of them, but it doesn't look terrible, so... Alright, 6 deuce, ace 7 4. Well, hopefully if Eric swapped out one of the cables, maybe it's good now. Carl with the King Jack here on the button.
Raise to 15.
Raising it up to 15. It looks like Queen 2 of clubs defending from Eric.
Let's see if we can get this one. Wee.
10, 10, 8 rainbow.
Check.
Check.
Bet of 15.
Carl leads out. Eric's.
Spicy.
Check.
Try going for the queen high call down, maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say the queen high on that board. You're like, yeah, he missed. My queen might be good, right? So.
How many times have you been to that place that in Vancouver? You just rented a cabin there, or what?
What, Tofino?
Yeah.
This will be the first time.
Oh, first
Flying
time?
into Victoria to visit our buddy
nice
Ralph.
there.
You know Ralph.
Victoria. So from Victoria to Tofino, how far is that?
All right, let's take a look here. We've got 6 tray for Carl offsuit, and Jack 7 for Eric on the button, limping in.
It's
Oh, yeah.
cold water, right?
Freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a monstrous pot here of 10 chips.
You don't think it'll be freezing there?
It's pretty cold. The nose there.
Yeah, when I was in Victoria, it was like.
There we go.
It's like almost freezing.
Pookie's on the ball. Flop looks much better. A little higher up.
Bet of 10.
Camera's still not auto-focusing. These shit cameras. I wish I had the name brand, but I can't remember. I would be slamming. I should text them. Tell me the name brand. I will tell everyone not to buy them.
Victoria, it was in the summer, pretty hot out.
Wonder, because you had issues with my phone camera, it wasn't auto-focusing either. So I wonder if it's maybe something just with the light, like the cards or something, where it's having issues focusing.
Could be. Like, I mean, your phone actually wasn't that bad. It was more, I think there was a cord or the edge of the like
There's
mic
the edge of
ring
the
was
boom. Yeah,
just
edge of the
over
boom.
a portion of the lens. So your camera, like the cameras are pretty high-end cameras these days, so not to worry about it.
Ace King versus Jack 9 and paired board is raised to 25. It looks like green.
We actually have, sorry to interrupt you, Anthony, we do have a raid coming in. It looks like Poker News is raiding with a party of 19 viewers. Welcome, viewers, for checking out our second ever heads up game here, for live anyways. We've done a lot of other things for home games and online and whatnot, but we've been attempting to do live heads up matches with a bunch of cameras and a couple of microphones. So this is what you get. The full-blown version with the RFID table is a smidge expensive, and I didn't want to drop the 20 grand to do that, although I would love to, but we're trying to make it work here with a couple of different laptops and webcams so we can have a fun heads-up match with hole cards and a couple of announcers, and we rotate through our home game poker crew, all challenging each other. So each player put up $1,000, and it's going to be a best of 5. Carl is up 1 match so far.
They actually both put up $2,000.
Oh, is this so the winner gets 4 grand? Is that
No,
correct?
well, winner gets 2 grand from the other. It's
Oh,
2
okay,
grand.
sorry.
Same thing with my heads up with Chris. It was, with Carl. It was $2,000 to the winner.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was like I might have put the wrong info on the screen there. Yeah, but 1,000 each. Winner gets 2.
No. Yeah, so 2,000. The winner pays the other 2,000. So 2,000 net gain.
Oh, so it is. So total. Okay.
There's
So
4K in the pot.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Same with our one last week too. And then
Jesse says, "Is there any table audio?" Yes, but it's overpowering. I'll turn it up right now, Jesse. You can now hear the chips. Each webcam has a microphone. So I turned all of them off except for the one you see on the screen, the flop cam or the one that's on the boom arm. I left that mic on. There's no interesting conversation at the moment between the players, so I try and turn it down so that you hear the announcers predominantly, but if there's some cool dialogue, I'll turn it up again too. So I'm trying to gauge the pulse of tuning into the player chat versus tuning into the announcers. And Pookie's doing a fantastic job of verbalizing the bet amounts, because sometimes it's hard to see. But yes, there is a mic rigged up in the at the poker table.
So Eric, min raise 10-5 on the button.
Bet of 25.
Carl.
It's just tricky to coordinate everything with a couple cameras, a couple microphones, and a few restreams, but we're making it work, boys. So if you're just tuning in, it's a best of 5 heads-up match. Carl is up 1-0 in the match so far by getting extremely lucky with running perfect. King-Queen on an ace-high board. Eric had ace-3. Turn King, River Queen. Carl takes down the match.
Raise 30.
Give me your 4 high bluff.
So if you read the chat right now, Anthony, my latest message from Nightbot is incorrect.
Your 10.
Correct. That's incorrect. Well, it's
profit. $2,000
yeah.
profit to the winner.
Profit, yeah.
So I got it wrong. So in your match, it was $1,000 profit, right?
40.
No, 2,000.
Oh, I was wrong the whole way. So the total match, each player put up 2 grand. Ah.
The me vs. Chris, the original one, was $1,000 each. Me vs. Carl was 2,000, and I think going forward they'll all be $2,000
50.
Because $1,000, it's like.
Yeah, that's kind of just where we're at as far as the stakes go. That makes sense. It's funny, I got it all wrong, but $2,000 heads-up battle still makes sense as long as you understand that 2,000 is profit for the winner.
Carl, that's what 75. Eric folds his pocket fours.
Wow. Good fold. Very good fold. Well, top set there. Good deal.
I'm just wondering if I had an alert for a raid, if it even went off.
Yeah,
I have no idea what a raid is, so.
A raid, like I said, Jesse raided us. He basically went, hey, I've got a stream going right now with this many viewers, but I'm signing off. I'm going to send all my viewers to your channel. So he raided our channel with 19 viewers, but I would have had a little graphic for that, but that's okay.
We got an interesting hand here. 8-9 suited for Carl, raised to 10, or called.
Call 75.
Eric with pocket 5s goes to 75.
A couple of real hands. 9 pairing.
Bet of 85.
Carl will probably float at least one card here, I would think.
Hopefully you guys can hear that. I turned the volume up. So Pookie, the dealer, has said bet of 85 from Eric.
Carl working through the motions and decides to let it go. I'm actually very shocked at that. I think he would float one card, especially considering he has the chip lead here. See if he can pick off another 8 or 9. And
Yeah. Roughly what do you figure the chip counts are? Looking at Erick's stack, was that 1, 2, like 500?
Yeah, 550, 575 Eric has, I believe. Johnny's for Eric.
Raise to 30.
And
Zip and Pip. So that's frustrating, eh? You pick up a premium hand and get 0 action, so.
When's the last time you were on vacation, Eric?
March 2020.
Do you recognize the name mentioned in chat, Anthony?
I do not. Eric.
Sorry, Jesse. It doesn't appear neither Anthony or myself know who Eric Anderson is. Built his own RFID table. Super cool, man. I would love to do the same. I've researched it so many times. I've had my mouse finger clicking ready to buy all the gear. But it's such an expensive hobby, right? So we'll see if we can't iron out this particular setup for now and have some fun with this, and maybe we progress down that path at some point. I'm almost certain I will. I just don't know when the time's right.
Okay, Eric, earlier in the first match, folded 3-deuce suited pre-flop, and this time he decides to 3-bet 3-deuce on a flop of an 8-side board and 3-bets it. So,
very interesting. Different styles to play the hand, you know, pre-flop, post-flop. Alright, let's see what we got. We got AC Deucey for Eric. Raising it up to 30 on the button. And Ace 7 for Carl.
So Carl should probably 3-bet to about 90 here.
Carl does elect a 3-bet. Anthony was right.
Call 75. Check.
Eric calls. Flop comes down. King, King, Queen. Again, we got Ace Deuce versus Ace 7. Neither player connecting with the board. 10 of spades on the turn. Flop went check, check.
Feel like it's just going to check down here. Because that's all types of hands that would be involved in 3-bet pot.
I'm surprised there's no like a super ridiculously small bet on the turn and then follow up with a big bet or something. Like you have to think a 3-betting hand. There's a lot of kings and queens and tens and 3-betting hands. Somebody connected with that, but turn up the volume for the players here.
Are you aware who this surprise Jesse is, by the way?
I can think of a few Jessies, but I'm not off the top of my head. I'm sorry, Jesse, if I don't know exactly who you are. But I have a hunch. And if I don't know you, welcome. Thanks for being engaging and rating the channel with a couple more viewers. Like I said, this is mostly just our own home game group that we've been playing with for a number of years, and we're trying to make it fun, and this is one of the formats we came up with, so.
We'd never go to a casino in Mazatlan, eh? You probably don't even have any. I think it's probably dangerous, eh?
They're not dangerous. They just
9-8 offsuit for Carl.
Raise to 30.
Raise 30 and 5-deuce for Eric. Let's see if he decides to see the flop.
We've seen a lot of the 5-deuce, 5-3, 6-deuce, 6-3, the 9-3s. We've seen a lot of trash hands. Nothing, well, those are the types of boards you want, I guess, with those, the old 5-deuce. Pair and a gutty.
Bet of 25. Raise to 55.
Full.
Full.
Eric bumping it up on the ace-high board with the 5-deuce. I like it. I mean, if your opponent doesn't have an ace, it's super hard to continue, right? And his hand...
I definitely think betting out there is good because you get out all the just random overcards that are afraid of the ace, but you're still 8-4, and Carl with 9
deuce. Eric limping on the button, 20 chips in the middle. Board 10-10 for Rainbow. 8-4 pairing is 4.
Call 10. Check. Check.
I think this is gonna get looked up. I mean, oh, sorry, the 9 deuce by Eric. Sorry, I thought Eric had the 4. Carl betting is 4 for value here.
No, Eric does have the 4. Carl bluffed out the river.
Okay, so I looked at the wrong screen. The one part about the whole card cams is they don't just show the cards, they show the player, so I'm looking at the...
Very nice. Black sugar and spice.
Do you want to take that question in chat, Anthony?
I'm trying to represent the 10, Eric. Little smooth call, 9 deuce.
I mean, there's the broad answer and then the more specific, how did this come to be? And part of it is your match, actually.
There's we're all from Winnipeg. This is a local Winnipeg card group that's all playing. This match last week, or I'm not sure if it was 2 weeks ago now, but I think it was last week, myself and Carl had a heads-up match, which is the second one that we've done. And after that, I guess Carl's phone blew up after they saw how bad Carl played. He probably had a list of people a mile long wanting to play him, and
Little smack talk.
was the first one he signed up.
But isn't that the art of a good hustle, Anthony, is to throw the first match? Then you get all this action? Who knows, right? So, neither player connecting with that board. But yeah, as Anthony said, it's just really our own poker group that we've played with for a number of years. Gotten to know there's actually some really talented players in the Winnipeg. We're all from Winnipeg here. With casinos shut down, online poker and apps and everything through COVID. Yeah, we come up with some creative ways to still engage with the fellas, have fun, socialize, play some cards. Primarily, we play 2-5 or 5-10. Generally, that's kind of the size of the game we play. And then we like to talk some shit and challenge each other. So this is the second one. If you want to check out the YouTube channel, Card Shark Exchange, the first match I did re-upload from Twitch, so it is there, along with a bunch of other videos.
Interesting.
From
Eric
interesting
has
hands in our group.
5-4. He bet the turn. Carl called. And let's see if Eric fires again on the river.
Bet of
He
115.
Didn't like that one.
You didn't like that one? You have 9 something like that.
Yeah, I don't think neither of these players are the hero call type. So unless they have something, I think it's going to be fairly straightforward poker.
Jack.
I gotta say, you guys, when you played your match against Carl, you had some crazy street poker. Not every hand consistently, but there were some spots where there was zip and pip from either of you on like the turn, and it was just a battle of who wants it more. So I mean, it was fun to watch. I think both me and Chris were dialed in on that one. There's got to be some of that going on here. For the most part, pretty straightforward, but and small pots, right? You're always conscious of the size of your stack and taking stabs. They're committing big chunks. I don't know. I don't think you see it as much in this format. Heads up cash, maybe a different story, but yeah.
I think Eric's been slowly battling back here. It's getting closer to even.
Little rally. All right, we got king 3-4, 2 spades on deck. Look like a 4 in Eric's hand there.
Not aware of Carl's hand.
Raise to 50.
How do you raise? It's a 650.
Call 50.
All right. So it looked like Carl check raised flop.
Bet
Eric calls
75.
king on the turn.
Call 75.
Okay. Carl has the king.
Which is super tricky when the second king pairs the board on the turn, right? It's less likely your opponent has it.
200.
I mean, 6-7 gets there.
But Carl has a 7.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Eric, you're like, what check raises the flop? Spades miss. 6-7 check raises, but gets their ace-2 to some degree, but
I think
how
Eric's actually going to make the call here, and yeah, he just mentioned that he thought he had ace-2 of spades. I think I wouldn't fault Eric for calling here, other than that specific tell that I think Carl has, which could maybe make me lay it down, but otherwise, like from the way the hand played, I think Eric will probably end up calling.
Big fold. That is big.
Oh, he lays down. I was going to turn up the volume. They had a little banter back and forth there. I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of draws miss. 6-7 gets there, being one of the big hands that check raise a board like that because you're open-ended. Or was it open-ended?
No, it's a gutty.
No, still a gutter, but what if it was 6-7 of spades? Same difference, right? So.
Eric with the correct play down there, though.
Ace of spades.
Ace king for Carl.
Raise to 45.
Because Pookie's so close to the mic there, I can hear him perfectly quick raise to 45. I hear him very clear.
Check. Bet of 40.
Take this kid to Value Town.
Call 40.
Carl chirping, take this kid to Value Town.
I know Eric had queen little. Was it? No, it was a 5.
Queen ace high. So wins.
It's a weird spot to be, Eric. You got a bit going on the board. Wheel draw, gutter, 1 over. Out of position though, do you ever just like blocker bet, donk bet? Like even ace highs are curious at that point. I don't know. Yeah. I think check raise is the play if Carl bites the bet.
I feel like again on the turn when Eric picked up the draw, he should be betting the turn when he picks up his draws.
Just gonna message the boys. Connection strong. Hopefully we solved it.
Jack 6 for Carl. And pocket 4s again for Eric. Eric's been getting a few little pocket pairs. Flops 9-5 deuce. So surprise Eric didn't bet there. Carl picked up a flush draw, so probably going to call the turn bet here. And he rivers the flush. So Carl's going to bet. And I don't know if
Call 45.
And Carl takes it down with Jack high flush versus 4 high flush.
Alright.
So I can wait.
Miss one.
Everything's good, so.
There you go. Little pep in our step. I think they're happy to hear everything's good on our end. No more technical difficulties. Maybe just swapping out the cable was all we needed. Who knows? Maybe it was a faulty cable. 10 jack of clubs from Eric. And was that a 6-9 that Carl had there?
I'm definitely glad that they stuck with $1,000 starting stack, not the $2,500 starting stack that they wanted to switch it to. Because imagine how what that would be like.
Well, yeah, especially with a limping strategy, the pots are smaller. Like you're just, it's the chips aren't going to go in as quick. You got ace-7 here from Eric on the button. Again, limping.
8-5 for Carl.
Bet of 10.
Carl looks like he's gonna maybe thought better.
All right, again, if you're just tuning in, best of 5 match. Carl up 1-0 in the match with a perfect turn and river card taking Eric out. And now it looks like Carl up again. I always zoom in on Erick's stack because it's easier to count. Those green chips 25, red chips 5. Looks like just shy of maybe 500 chips for Erick here. Each player starting with 1,000 chips. Carl, a 3-1 chip favorite. King 5 of clubs on the deuce 7-5, 2 clubs.
But Erick has 9-3 and won't be doing anything. Or will he? He didn't immediately fold though. Could be going
Look at
to
this. Look at this. He's got thoughts and intentions here. Picking up double gutter with the 9-3. The Randy. Any 4 or 8 gives Erick some life.
Let's do an 8 of clubs. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And he leads out. Erick finally does what I told him to and lead out the turn.
Yeah. Maybe his ears were burning. Spicy because, I mean, Carl could raise or not raise. I mean, he's got a 5 and 2 clubs. Now the clubs come in. 2, 7, 5, 6, 6, 3 clubs. Carl with the king 5 of clubs. Erick with 9-3. Absolutely nothing. Leading out here.
I think Carl just shoves and Erick folds.
Yeah, leaving Erick 200 and... Yeah, there's the all-in, guys.
Yeah.
All in by Carl.
Erick's gonna Hollywood fold, of course, with his 9 high.
Got my all-in triangle back. I'm glad it landed perfectly in front of Carl here.
Erick, this is the first little bit of Hollywood I've seen out of either of them. He's saying he's gonna fold his straight.
Maybe. Maybe a strong hand. Maybe
So Erick now with about 300 with blinds. Blinds of 10-20 with only 300 in his stack. Oh, maybe a little more than 300, but 340, 350.
Yeah, it's almost to that shove fold, push shove. How well do you know your Nash charts, Anthony? Have you memorized them? At 7 big blinds, I do this. At 8 big blinds, I do this.
Not for 10 years since the full tilt days that I ever
full tilt days
play the sit and go push shove.
Hold on, I'm gonna tune into the action here. I'll tell the story. King Queen for Carl. I didn't see Erick's hand, but he's not waiting on a decision. So Carl just flats King Queen. Like I guess it's close. Carl could ship it. 9, 10, 9. 2 overs in the gutter. What did Erick flash there? I didn't see his cards.
8-6 offsuit.
8-6. So each player with a gutter.
Call 65. Check.
And Erick's just going to give up on this hand. Carl should check here.
Yeah, you gotta go. I mean, out of position. There's a lot of floats.
Bet of 75.
He bets.
It's because there's nothing. Erick's never checking back the turn with a 10 or something. He would be getting his money in.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that. Erick doesn't have a hand because the money's not already in the pot.
And if Carl ever floated ace high, you want to give your opponent a chance to try and bluff. But yeah. Back to my story. You jogged some memories. Full tilt, way back. Whoa, you're going back. Last time I played sit and goes like consistently was probably in the full tilt days where I took a whole summer off, played the full summer. I think I made like 10 grand. I was all ecstatic, like woo, big money. But yeah, $20 matches, $30 matches, $40, $50 or whatever. I got up to 50s. When I got into the $100 heads up sit and goes, the turbos, I got smacked down a number of times. I kept fighting. And I learned there's some better players at those levels. That's as high as I got with sit and goes. Way back.
I used to grind like the 6 max sit and goes for the longest time.
9-3 king 4. 2 hearts on board. Looks like Erick's reaching for chips here.
All in.
Carl shoves.
So Eric here with about $160 left. I don't see him being able, or okay, maybe he has 200, he has some hidden behind, but I don't see him being able to do anything other than really shove it in.
Yeah, you gotta be push fold here. You're not taking it to the streets and playing post flop poker with such a short stack, right? Like you might see a flop, but
So 7-4 this is just a hand just fold. But
it looks like we're being spammed in the chat by a different user for the same website. I like that our low-budget stream is getting so much attention by bots.
just the opposite side of Eric should be shoving. The opposite side is when Eric limps, I think Carl should be shoving hand, like King 5 or King 6, whatever he has.
Yeah.
There. It's like, if he's limping, unless he's trapping with a monster.
See, here's what's funny. We're just talking about the sit and go strategy, and I'm sure you can relate. If you're in that short stack, oh shit, blinds are up, you have like, I mean, I know what I'm shoving and I know what I'm limping, but if you get, you're trying to limp with those marginal hands, praying your opponent doesn't raise it up. So you kind of want to trap. So if Eric gets aces or ace king or queens, I almost want to see him limp this short to balance out all of those limps with all the marginal ones, because you're shoving sixes, you're shoving king jack.
Yeah,
but if you have aces, I hope he limps. I really does, and Carl pounces on that weakness, and then he, you know. There is a limping strategy I find in endgame sit and go, far stronger and more relevant than cash game deep stack.
Oh, for sure, especially in like versus players who again don't have a lot of heads up experience. Like when I played tournaments back in the day, whenever I got to heads up,
7-5, 10-6.
I loved just limping because I knew they couldn't play post flop and just like limped every hand. But that's versus players who don't play heads up cash.
Yeah, 7-5 and 10-6. Neither player connecting with this board. Carl taking a stab and he takes it down. It's funny that I get, we get a very active, very genuine person by the name of Jesse who likes our stream and gives us some viewers. And at the same time, 2 bots who have spammed, want to be famous. Check out our website. It's pretty interesting.
Jack
Gaining attention.
9-4.
Not a bad flop for the Jack 3 of spades in Carl's hand. 5, 4, 8, 2 spades.
Yeah, it's gonna go all in here. Eric has a pair. Carl has a pair.
Carl's gonna go for it 100%. I'm just gonna put out the all-in plaque now.
But Carl's the one who pushed all in. It's about Eric.
Oh, I missed it.
All with the 4.
I mean, if you're Eric, you're like, I might be ahead, but you know, at absolute worst, you're still against a big draw, which you gotta fade.
You took that one, big call.
Here, I'm gonna turn up the player chat here.
I know you're winning.
So like this.
I know, but you have so much equity.
It's a good call by Eric, though. I mean, there is a lot of draws. He fades the turn. 10 of diamonds. King of clubs. Look at this. He's holding.
171, I think.
Oh, oh.
171. So at some point during the 1-2 level, they made some weird bet where they have an uneven number of whites. So we know now that Eric has 342.
It goes round and round. Higher 2 pairs. Your jack's good. That's true too. Like it's, you have so many.
I'm listening to the chatter. I turned it up.
Raise to 60. Fold.
We raised to 60 and a fold.
He did that Carl did that a few times in my game with him as well, where he folds King 5, King 6 pre-flop to a raise. I just don't see folding a king to single raise heads up.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to dive into it to thresholds and ranges, I mean, it depends on your if the button's opening size is a min raise, you can defend wider. As the button goes to 2.2x, 2.5x, to 3x, what if the button opens to 4x? Your calling range shrinks, right? It's just a mathematical thing, like. But to a small open, King 5, King 6 plus, all those are the offsuit, all the King 4s, all the King 3s suited. Like, you're gonna defend quite wide, depending on the size of the open.
Erick making a little comeback here.
Yeah, I know. People line up the. I know. I'd love to see you an 80 player. I'll bet money on that one. Yeah, you just beat the fire and chips out. You look right and try to get you back. Probably that beats you.
Heads-up match.
You just like snap them off there.
It may be entertaining for a group of guys with their little personal history, but for the viewers watching a poker match, I'm not sure if it would be the greatest thing.
Yeah. There's two different audiences. I mean, if you're in the know, so to speak, then oh my god, it's doing it again. God damn it. So we got 8-9 by Carl, and then the 9-3 showing itself again here in Erick's hand. And unfortunately, guys, we have another technical difficulties. So they're going to do a reset again. I do apologize. These cameras, I thought they were decent, but apparently, I don't know if it's the camera or just a bad cable. There's 2 cables, I think, for the flop cam to reach the laptops at the other end of the table, and it seems to be giving us some issues.
I wonder if we got anybody in the chat here. I know Anders was asking me about the stream, but I haven't seen him comment anything yet.
Yeah, I got the same. It was more of a side text to my phone, nothing really in the chat.
I had all my Bert and Ernie jokes set up, and he's not even here. Do you remember which one's Bert and which one's Ernie?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay, we're gonna call Anders. Anders is probably Bert, and Erick's gonna be Ernie. I think that makes most sense.
Bert and Ernie. Yeah, who's taller? Ernie. Bert. Bert's
well,
taller.
Bert. The way I'm looking at it is Bert is more balding, so that's what Anders is. Anders can be Bert, and Erick's more like Ernie. But that's their nicknames went in our local group here.
I'm gonna give the boys some positive reinforcement here.
Just to do a temperature check, it's currently 33 degrees outside, and there's a heat warning. So it's not as bad as BC, but I went outside this morning with my daughter and took her to the park early on in the morning. It was like 7 a.m. when we went to the park, just because I knew it was going to be killer hot. By 8:30, 9 o'clock, it was already 28 degrees outside.
Crazy. Yeah, we are in a heat wave. Been a couple days straight. I'm gonna run to the washroom while I have a chance to take this break. If you do want to relay the fun chat command about the weather, do !weather space and type Winnipeg in chat, and we'll get the forecast. Give it a whirl. Be right back.
I have no idea what you just said, so I'm probably not going to end up doing that. I'm just waiting on everybody to do their little restart here. I only got 12 viewers. We're just on a little bit of a delay as they reset the cameras. We've been having problems with flop cam freezing on us. So they're trying to figure it out, and then we back to the action. Our 2 contestants today is Chicken Man Carl, who is the proprietor of a few different chicken chefs around the area. And Eric Castleman owns the Park Theater, which is a local establishment in Winnipeg. I remember going there to watch the Evil Dead musical, which is a very entertaining watch. I watched it the first time actually in Vegas at Planet Hollywood. Watched it again here in Winnipeg when they came to Winnipeg. And then I watched it again in Vegas the second time. So I've actually seen the musical 3 different times. It's very good.
All right. This is what I was going to say. Exclamation mark. Hey, Carl. Give me a second. I just switched while we were running into difficulties.
Still
Nothing yet.
Their stream isn't back live yet.
Sorry, say that again. We can't see the...
The stream isn't live yet. There you go. Now it just popped up.
Okay. The one came back. The main wide angle one came back. I'm just waiting on the flop cam. It's so silly. Like, what? So there should be only the two things, the two cameras. Like, you right click in its properties. So yeah, just click on any one that you see. The one that you don't see, you just right click properties, and it'll show everything going on with that camera. Usually, you should just be able to restart it, and they connect right away, right? So there it is. Yeah, it's back. I apologize, guys. Like, I'm ready to throw these cameras out. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're shit. So. All right, boys, we're back. Yeah, thanks again. Bye. All right, guys. Sorry again for the technical difficulties there. Carl just gave me a shout saying, hey, they're trying to troubleshoot, which takes away from their focus in the match, but it always seems to be the flop cam. I don't know if it's the camera or there's two cords, right? We got the camera at one end of the table, and then we got the laptops at the other end trying to watch everything, so there is a couple connections. Maybe it's just one of the cables. I don't know, but I will buy all new shit to make it work for the next one, so... All right, let's go back to the main screen here.
Okay, so we got 8-5 versus Queen 4. We left off with Eric making a small little comeback.
Looks like something got bumped, though.
Yeah, I'll message Fuki.
Okay. Or I can just zoom out. Can I do that from here in real time? That would be fun.
Yeah, I saw a move. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. Deuce of hearts, 9 of clubs, deuce of diamonds, 4 of hearts, 4 of diamonds is the flop.
Did you message Pookie or no?
I'm in the process.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can take care of it from my end.
Yeah,
I don't want to disturb them if we don't have to. So
that's good. Just adjust it a little up, and then.
I hope you guys enjoy this stream. We are accounting for technical difficulties in real time. Okay.
Just think, they have all the technical difficulties at the Live at the Bike and everywhere else too.
Speaking of Live at the Bike, did you see Friday? They have got some red walls. I have no idea why they made red walls, and since we were there, I adjusted it on my end. Yeah, these red walls look horrific. Anyway, we're good.
No, I haven't watched Live at the Bike lately. I've watched a few of the last streams of the Texas Card House one. I've been watching those, and I'm like, man, I've been watching those streams, and they're playing like 2-5 and 5-10. I'm like, we play much bigger games than they're playing for the most part.
Yeah. And the Texas Card House they got a nice stream. I'll give them that. They've done some work. Yeah, the Live at the Bike is kind of back, but that's just in between because they're going to be going to Hustler Casino, I think is the new one with Mr. Feldman there. Ryan Feldman. I don't know when that'll take place, but Yeah, they something with the walls
Carl
were
gets
ridiculous.
out, and
7-3 for
gonna
Erick.
Float with the gutter, and he's bluffing with the spades. I'm not sure if he had spades or not. I saw you had 7-3, but I never picked up the suits. Carl with the 10. He calls, and Erick tables 7 high. And Erick is back down to probably about 250, it looks like. 260 maybe.
Pretty close. We'll have to let Pookie know to adjust the camera because Erick is almost cropped right out, but I don't want to interrupt them. You can see Erick through Carl's whole card cam if you really need to see him. Pocket twos.
Versus pocket deuces. Probably won't be. Yeah.
Yeah, so back to the chat and the weather. If you use !weather, one space, and then type any city you want, it gives you all the info. Little algorithm that I stole from Twitch to do that.
Ace 10 for Carl. He should probably just jam this.
And he does.
And he does. Hey, it's my first time calling an action correct the entire stream. I feel proud of myself. Now, is Erick getting gambled up? No?
I placed my my own all-in triangle on the top of Carl's stack there. I don't know if you caught that. I took it away now.
Yeah, I saw it a few times, yeah.
All right. Looks like a limp.
That
Queen
stack
4.
looks wobbly.
Queen 4. Pairing a queen on Queen 9 King Rainbow.
You pick up what Erick had? I saw Carl's cards, but
I missed it. 9 Dewey.
So, yeah.
Yeah, check down. Queens beat the 9s.
I definitely think for next time, another thing we need to do. They've been doing a pretty good job of flashing the cards a few times, but I like what I was doing, where it's like you flash them and then I was tilting them up and down and holding them there for a good 10 seconds to make sure the commentators both get a look at both hands, because they look at the same time and it's like, well, my eyes can only go in one direction.
For sure. I mean, it is a bit of an adjustment, like you say. King 5 hearts here for Carl. I mean, you know how you play at the table, you're comfortable, you just do your thing, you take a peek, whatever. But when there's cameras on and you're trying to do it for viewers, you gotta almost be extra animated. Like, I hold it an extra second, I talk a little louder, like it's things that you're not natural that you're trying to do on top of just playing your A game, right? King 5, yeah.
Ace King versus King 5. I kind of think that you're rooting for one of these hands.
You can never go wrong with the King 5, baby. That's all I gotta say.
I knew that was happening. And Carl moves up 2-0. Or sorry, no, that was Erick who had the King 5. I thought it was Carl who had the King 5.
I'm so happy the King 5 took that down. For those that know me, King 5 is basically aces, kings, King 5, queens. King 5 is up there in the 3-betting and 4-betting range.
So Carl is now 2-0 up, and they're going to reset the chips again. So if this was only a best of 3, Carl would have already won. But because he wanted the best of 5, he's going to give Erick a chance to make the 3-0 comeback.
Right. Well, while they reset the chips, we'll jump on over to our announcer screen. Your announcers for today's match: Trevor Orr, myself, Anthony Joubert, who played Carl previously and won. Actually, you've won every match you've played that we've streamed so far.
I defeated the Guppy Chris. We haven't mentioned the Guppy because he's on some sort of vacation right now and he's not watching. I was expecting to be able to chirp him, but I think maybe Chris will get a rematch at some point where I can take him out live.
Nice.
I've made more money off Chris than I have off any other player in these heads-up matches, even though I bet versus I bet Chris a separate side bet for my match versus Carl, which I won as well.
Nice. Very, very nice. I gotta admit, I mean, as much as I do love this shit, guys, the broadcasting and the webcams, I've been doing that for a number of years and I find it fun, the video editing. But watching, I mean, I'm about ready to jump in and log some time on the actual felt, not the virtual felt.
When you go pick up your cameras tonight, maybe just stick around.
I should. However, I have more information. With my job, I'm a claims adjuster. There's some shit going on in the world right now. British Columbia, a little village called Lytton, got stormed by wildfires, and there's some hail in Calgary. We were actually asked to come in this weekend, but they're figuring out who can come for what time, so I will actually be working tomorrow, and most likely nonstop throughout the week. So
yeah,
Mother Nature's been angry lately.
I heard about that town, like they apparently lost like every house in the town or something, right?
Yes, and that means I will be busy. I woke up to a text and I was like, shit, do I have to call the fellas and tell them I can't stream today? So I called in and we're figuring out resources, and I will probably go in tomorrow. All right, let's tune into the action. Carl taking 2-second break here.
Pocket deuces for Eric. Gonna raise to 5. He's going back to his 2.5x. Queen 7. We'll call.
Did the deuces have a club? No.
No. Check. Carl out flopped them, but with the monotone board, it's probably not going to get a lot of action. You've got 10 live views currently.
2-3 diamonds for Carl. In the 10-5 offsuit for Eric. Raising a call, 10 chips in the pot, 6-7-10 rainbow on board. Check, ace turn.
I'll bet. Eric will flat.
Eric checks his 10. Carl has to bet. This is going to get looked up for sure. Carl with 5th pair, rolling it over, giggling. I have a deuce.
Is that your first, second, or third red line there, Trevor?
Don't you worry about it. It might be my third.
Ace 9 for Eric and 3-5 for Carl.
Like I said, 3's always connecting with the board.
Eric will float.
So you said Eric has ace 5.
Ace 9.
Ace 9. I was going to say, if it's ace 5, I like it. I almost like a raise there.
And
Speaking of
there's
9.
the river. Eric out rivers them. And probably no.
Letting it go correctly. Oh, I did it again. God damn.
It's this fucking, it's because it has to do this all this way.
They're saying your USB cable is not long enough, is what they're saying the issue is.
Long enough?
He's saying that it has to go all this way. So he's saying maybe it's
too long. Because I mean, I have like there's so many new ones in the thing. I think it's just something in the connection there. Yeah. I feel bad because I mean it takes away from your focus. They're worrying about technical issues. I wish I could have all this ironed out so you guys don't have to worry about any of this shit. All you got to do is broadcast. All I got to do is fucking click a few buttons and then they play, which we'll get to that point. It's just our second time doing this
from
stupid shit, right? So,
and it's only been, like I said, a week or so between the last match and this match. It hasn't been that long. So
yeah, it's funny because I mean I actually bought the cameras, 3, a new one for me and 2 more, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know how far we're gonna have to run, so I bought 3 new proper cables, and maybe the cable is the issue. I don't even know. Silly.
What do you think? Let's talk about. What do you think Erick needs to do to adjust to make a comeback here?
What's his stack size here again? I'm trying to see. I can't see.
Back to even. They're just in the 3rd match, but just in terms of what do you think he needs to change about his game?
Good question. Yeah, to dial it back in, to reel it into the poker strategy and analysis. Let's see. It's hard to say. Like, I mean, the hands need to line. The premium hands play himself, so that, I mean, that's easy. I mean, you want to make sure you're betting. You said there's a lot of turns that should have been bet. I think you need aggressive. I hear the chips here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. I think you need aggression. Maybe a lot more small bets, a lot less checking back, showing down. A lot of times people don't have anything, so try not to show down as much. I think.
I definitely think, yeah.
Steal those pots. Everyone adds up.
More turn aggression for sure Erick needs to do, and he also maybe needs to size up some of his bets a little bit. He's been playing a lot of online style bets, I think, and I'm not sure.
So Jack 3 for Carl, Ace 5 for Erick. Limped 6-8-5 on the flop. 2 spades. Turn 7.
So that should scare both players.
Carl gonna get out of line, repping a straight. Erick calls with his 5. 6-8-5 7 deuce. 3 spades.
I understand that the pot is only $4, but I don't know. I just don't see like the betting of a $2 bet on the turn. It's like pointless.
Yeah. What's the minimum bet? Equal to the big blind. We've got a question in chat. Do you want to field that one, Anthony?
Carl is currently up 2-0. Got lucky in the first match, hitting a 3%er, and just grinded him down in the second match. Wasn't anything overly cooler. I think it was ace king, or well, the last hand I guess he got lucky again with the king 5 versus ace king and hit trip 5s. So Carl got lucky both hands with dominated hands.
Erick peeling the Randy in diamonds. 93 of diamonds. Limped pot, king 6-8 rainbow. Carl taking a stab. Taking it down. Yeah, there's going to be, like, it's going to be key spots here. Like, I feel like Carl can be patient. Or like, yeah, if you go look at it this way, so Carl's up 2-0. He can lose 2 matches and be like, whatever, right? You don't want that to happen, but he's got the cushion. Yeah. So if you're Erick, do you want to be the cautious one or the one that's going ballistic and forcing Carl to call correctly? I don't know who has to be cautious, who has to be like uber aggressive. Like Carl can afford to, but do you want to be that guy? It's gonna be interesting. Who's taking the lead on this? I think I know if it's me short stacked and against the wall, I'm going for it.
I think they both need to pick up the aggression for different reasons. Whether they will or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because just like after like they should be like, not obviously they don't know what the cards the other player has, but they've been seeing how the first two matches have gone and how passive it is, so they should both pick up that. Well, Erick should pick up that he can be a little more aggressive than what he has been, and Carl should be more willing to gamble on 60-40 dog spot because he still has the cushion. It's like, whatever, 40% chance to end it right now, and I still got 2 more chances later on if it doesn't work out.
True. Carl limping the 2-3 offsuit on the button. Erick bumping it up with the ace-4 suited, rightfully so. 8-9 deuce on the board. Carl out-flopping Erick. Betting a call. Queen on the turn. Erick checks. 8-9 2 queen 7 is the run out. Check turn.
Check. 2-3
and ace-4. Erick going for a small bet here. Does Carl call with 5th pair?
It's a bad river, but it's only $15. I just call just to see.
You can see Carl doesn't buy it.
Like, the other reason, especially early on in these the early blind levels, I would be calling a lot of these little bets just for the information value. Even if you're wrong and he shows up that he hit a 7 on the river there or whatever, you still get the information of how he's betting in certain situations. And I think that's key, where right now you have no information of how he's playing. I don't think Carl has any idea how passive and tight Erick is playing.
True. All right, let's take a peek. King Queen, nice hand for Erick. Limping the button yet again. 6-7 for Carl, who elects to bump it up out of position. Erick double checks his cards. King of Hearts, Queen of Spades. Limp re-raise, bumps it up here.
Which is typical. This is what he's been trying to do the entire time with limping his really strong hands, trying to get Carl to raise.
Carl calls. Flop 4-6-8. Or sorry, 4-4-8 rainbow. 6-7 for Carl. King Queen for Erick.
Goes check.
10 on the turn. Carl leads out. Double gutted now. Any 5 or a 9 gives Carl a straight. Speaking of 5s, that's exactly what the river is.
Carl can find a check here. Erick might take a bluff at it.
He did lead the turn, repping like, hey, I have an 8 or a 10 or some kind of small pair. The gutter's super concealed, but checking, I think Carl has to bet here.
Yeah.
I mean, Erick might shut down saying some draws miss, king high might be good sometimes, so yeah, I think you gotta bet if you're Carl. I like the bet. I like the play. The old bet get there routine. Double gutted. I like it. How much do you think Erick's watch is worth? Do you think we'll see that go into the middle at any point? Sitting beside his phone?
I don't even see a watch on his wrist.
No, it's beside his phone there. The 9-4 for Carl. Fold.
You can tell Carl's a lot more relaxed now that he's up 2 games.
Oh shit, yeah, you got chirping chips. Chirping chips are fun. You know what the funny thing is I went to buy cameras 4 times and I was angry that I couldn't get what I wanted. So I bought these other 2. I was like, I'd rather spend $2,000 on cameras than the price I did pay, which was what, 100 and something a piece, to avoid this situation, knowing full well I'll use them again. But they didn't have them.
Erick's squeezing a little tight there, but
are you shitting me?
Carl once again flopping the quads. He flopped quads versus me.
He did. I do remember.
I don't even know. I don't know what Erick's cards are, but I just feeling he probably has a straight. Probably has like the 8-5 here, and is gonna get stacked because that's how Carl runs. Just off the quads.
There was some pre-match talk about coolers.
Eric has to have something here to be able to be calling a 125
Bet of
turn.
250. Call.
And he calls. I still don't know what Eric
Seven.
has.
Bet of sixes. Oh, quads. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one.
Quadzilla, as they say.
And just like that, Eric is again a massive chip dog. And this could be over sooner
sweep?
rather than later.
A sweep.
How lucky can you be to flop quads? 2 heads-up matches playing less than 200 hands and flopping quads twice.
5-7 versus Jack 6. Yeah, it's quads. Come on, 2 matches, quads, both matches. That's crazy. Neither player zip and pip. Nothing in the middle, anyways.
Bet of 5. Call 5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna message get Eric to lift his cards up a little more. He hasn't been showing them last
Bet
few
of
games.
50.
There's a thing in heads up where if you play enough and you know your ranges, 2s and 3s. When you see 2s and 3s on the board, whether it's a single race pot, 3-bet pot, 4-bet pot, how many 2s and 3s are in your opponent's range? Not many.
5. Yeah.
So you know they didn't connect. So it's licensed to bet.
Unless you're me, I have lots of 2s and 3s.
Yeah, except for Anthony's 2-4. That's always crushing.
or 3
9-6 of clubs by Carl. For Carl.
Can you lift your cards higher and longer, unable to see anything? Higher and longer. Check. Bet of 10.
So Eric flopped bottom pair and Carl with the gutter, but he just likes to let it go.
Looks like we're at the 2-5 level. Carl posting the 2 on the button. Eric 5 in the big blind.
So it looks like Eric has about 450 maybe.
Yeah, around there. 2 stacks of reds. 2-5 of diamonds for Eric. 6-7 offsuit for Carl. Min raises called by Eric. 3-7-9 rainbow. It's over. So I see this and I'm like, it's such a drastic. The 2-5 of diamonds is like almost 100% in my 3-betting range to balance out my premium 3-betting range when I'm playing heads up cash, right? Deep stack cash. But when your stack size matters, the 2-5 is like suited is not so much a 3-betting thing here, right?
Yeah.
King 8 of King 8's offsuit for Eric. Queen 4 suited for Carl. Min raise and a call. 3 ace 7 rainbow. Check check. Turn 8.
Eric picks up an 8.
Bet of 10.
Gonna make half pot bet, and Carl will just let it go. Carl's very happy with himself. You can see he's just like, yeah, I flopped my quads, and now I just need another set or 2 outer, and I'll be good to go.
You like texting Carl? Stop flexing your bicep. 8-6 offsuit for Carl. Jack 4 for Eric. Limp pot. 8-7 queen rainbow.
Check. Bet of 10. Call 10.
Carl with the 8.
Turn
Eric
checks through 5. This
And
pot
Carl
can be
rivers
stolen.
straight. So Carl's gonna bet and Eric's gonna fold.
Yeah, 30.
No?
What?
Call 30.
He called with the 4.
Yeah.
Eric looked him up with the bottom pair, and
Blinds up.
Yeah, that might have been a small misstep from Eric there. I mean, the board's scary enough if you're gonna like rep something. There's a whole shitload to rep, so I like a raise maybe, but unfortunately Carl does have it this time. But
yeah, well, the way the hand played out, like you're calling thinking Carl has 2 picture cards or ace something, but it wasn't raised pre-flop or played like he has a big hand. So it's like there's nothing there that I think that Carl could have that the bottom pair is beating.
looking at the chat again, I enjoy the screen name that I see. I'm not too sure who you are, but Battle Anybody, welcome to the channel. If you're just tuning in, it is a best of 5 heads-up match. Ace-4 for Carl here. Jack and a king and a 9 on the flop. 2 spades. Mostly this is just our own home game and crew of fellas having some fun. We decided to take it to the next level and try and do a heads-up with live whole card cams. We've done it online before, which is a smidge easier, but we're giving it a go here. This is our second one. Check out Card Shark Exchange, the YouTube channel, if you want to see last week's match between Anthony and Carl. Jack 5 for Carl. Let's see what Eric has. You notice Eric always waits for Carl to look at his cards first. Is he staring him down when he checks his whole cards? I've noticed he always waits.
I believe so. Like, he does that in a flooring game too. He always waits till it's his action to call, I've noticed. But it could be just that he's waiting for his action, or it could be that he's looking at Carl. Carl does give off some physical tells, I'm not sure.
Some live tells. 10-4 and 6-8, both players looking at the same time this 4. 10-4 for Carl, offsuit. 6-8 for Eric, offsuit. No action. Shout out to Pookie, our dealer, doing a wonderful job. Showing up for these matches to deal, also being involved in trying to make everything. We got a couple of nice hands here.
We could see a raise and a 3-bet and a flat, I'm guessing.
I'd like to see a 3-bet here, which we do. So Carl opens to 30. Looks like Eric 3-bets to 75.
Okay. I'd like 3-betting a little bigger, but 75 is fine.
2.5x 3-bet, yeah. 8-9-6, all clubs.
And Carl just flops the world yet again.
So Carl flopping 2 pair on 8-9-6. Eric ace queen no club. Continuing with the story.
40? 35. Down bits to 35 into a 150 pot, which I don't mind.
I agree. I mean, it's okay to bet the c-bet's small, especially on connected boards, monotone boards. You can bet 1/5 pot, 20% pot. Like, I mean, 1/5 and 20%.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
but
check.
I like down betting there because it's gonna get all Carl's nothing hands full. Carl's not gonna float without.
Yeah.
With just complete air. So
it's gonna be interesting to see how he plays this. You have top 2, but you're scared of pretty much. There's a ton of horrible turn cards. Another club, a 7, a 5.
But the ebb and flow of the game, the game dynamics of you raised. The ebb and flow and the dynamics of the game where he's up 2 games, has the chip lead in this game. He just wants to get it in here and risk it, even if he has a flush draw. Even if Eric flopped the flush, I don't think Eric or Carl minds too much getting it in and trying to hit the boat.
Yeah, I think I like Carl's play. I mean, I like raising there. There's a lot of turn. You can either raise now, flat, safe turn card, and then jam. I mean, I think that's my 2 plays, but. Yeah.
I definitely like raising over the flatting because if you flat and a turn comes to 4th club, then you have to fold your hand when if Eric jams or bets. So.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Erick's around 320 right now. With 4 deuce. I like that hand.
9-4. So Erick has your favorite hand. Carl has 9-4.
And Carl, that's the first time I think we ever had this fold on the button. Which I actually don't mind, because if he limps, Erick's going to be betting pretty much all of his hands, I think, or should be betting all of his hands.
King 2 Carl, 4-5 offsuit for Erick.
Raise to 20.
Erick min raising to 20. Carl lets it go. I'm tempted to go look up my charts. It's been a while. My defending ranges. Alright, 5-6 offsuit for Carl. Erick waiting again. Wakes up with King Queen offsuit.
Raise to 55.
Carl limps. Erick makes it 55 out of the big blind.
Carl's probably going to flat.
Fold.
Really?
Release. Interesting.
I guess Carl's kind of just waiting for the spot where he has a hand where he wants to get it all in with, maybe? I don't...
What was Erick got? You said like 2 stacks of reds, green, like it's gotta be what, 360 somewhere in there.
I just don't see not taking a flop with 6-5 in
Pocket
position.
3s, Jack 8. And Carl shoves it in here.
Just... Sorry, Carl has pocket 8s and he just checked.
Pocket 3s.
Oh, pocket 3s, okay.
Out of 10.
Still, it's strange.
All 10.
Carl with a gutter with pocket 3s, but Erick has Jack 8. It's kind of hard to continue.
Carl definitely thinks he got away with something there. You can see the little smirk on his face. He thinks, oh, I bluffed my pocket 3s, but he was ahead the entire way.
Blind please.
I think the best poker face at the table right now is the dealer. He's shot us a few glares and glances.
20 minutes.
It's very menacing. Gives Phil Ivey a run for his money, really.
Queen deuce versus 9-4. Let's it go.
Jack 8 again.
Yeah, I feel like it's Erick just waits for his action to look at his cards, because whenever he's on the button, he looks. at
It's
his
not a
cards.
bad thing. Like, I mean, if you read enough book stuff, the one of the watch everyone else first.
Yeah.
And then, but eventually, over like, yeah, I get it. There is some information there, but fuck it. I already like to know what I'm going to be doing and planning it out. The action's going to tell you what's happening, anyways. So I don't know. Post flop, maybe a little different.
I personally, I always look at the cards as they're like being dealt. So it's, I get my first card, I'll look at that as soon as it deals to me. I'll look at my second card as soon as it's dealt to me, and then I look at the other players for action.
Yeah, I wouldn't like give me. I want the information the second I get it, and then I'm like, okay, put it down, see what's going on. Make like so. I already start formulating my plan.
Exactly.
Whereas I've waited, now I look and I feel like the spotlight's on me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, now I know. Like I'd rather know in advance. So that's
Exactly.
just me.
I don't like waiting for people to be looking at me on my action for when I give away.
All 10.
My eyes light up. Oh, I got aces.
Then 25.
And I believe Carl has a 7 here, so he has the boat. And
Carl peels a 7 for the camera for the viewers at home. Doesn't let Erick know.
Carl's run good just continues. I do feel like this deck is more weighted towards Carl today over Eric for the most part.
We should both type in the chat. No technical difficulties, but definitely a deck change.
Yeah. I feel like my match with Carl, the deck was pretty even. I feel like after rewatching it, versus I think this one is kind of definitely weighted.
Alright guys, well Carl's taking a quick break. Again, for those just tuning in, thank you for bearing with us. I know a couple technical difficulties. We're trying to do a heads up stream with a bunch of cameras and our microphones here. The format is a heads up sit and go best of 5. Starting stack is 1,000 chips. Each player put up $2,000 of their own money. You can see the blind levels below there. They are doing a number of hands each. I will switch it back. Sorry, King 3 for Carl. Queen Jack for Carl, King 3 for Eric. Best of 5 match. Winner gets $4,000 or 2K profit. Carl is up 2 games. So Eric has his work cut out for him. He's going to have to be the underdog and win 3 straight. So far, our cameras have been holding up. Our audio's good. Our visual's good. 6-9 for Eric. 7-5 of diamonds for Carl.
7-5 suited. I love 7-5 suited.
I'm gonna let you take over the commentary for a second, Anthony.
7-5. Carl calls 7-5. And he flops himself a gutter and a flush draw. Eric has nothing, but Eric's going to continue his representation of a strong hand, betting 50, saying that he has the ace. Carl's probably going to raise here.
Call 50.
Just flats.
Check.
Carl checks again. How does Eric continue the story? And he looks like he may just give up. Now Carl has to bet this river. And does Eric want to make a play out of it? Very difficult for him to try and make a play when he only has 210 behind, 220, whatever it is. And it's for the game's life, the match's life.
Blinds.
3-4 offsuit for Eric. I'm not sure if the cameras are just delayed there or what happened.
We're good. No technical difficulties in the 2 minutes I was gone. Queen 9 versus 9 deuce.
We had one hand where Carl missed his with the 7-5 diamonds. Carl missed his flush and got her draw, bet out on the river. It would have been a brilliant play for Eric to jam there, but he can't jam. It's hard for him to jam, and it's his tournament life, and only has 250 or so.
Is Eric out of green chips? Ayah. Ayah.
Blinds.
Not going to do much with those cards.
Yeah.
Call. Check.
Here's where if I'm Carl, I'm leaning. I'm min raising every single hand, no matter what.
Yeah, you have to be putting aggression on.
Because it just puts pressure on the exact hands that Eric has, and now you're letting him see a flop with 8 deuce. Fuck that. You're not seeing free flops.
And the way that hand's been playing, it's like Eric's not jamming light. Eric's so just chip away, chip away, chip away. Giving Eric a chance to wake up with the hand.
Ocean War is my favorite.
8-10 hearts for Carl, King 6 for Eric.
Raise 55.
Eric's still coming in for a raise here.
Call 55.
And Carl flats with 10-8.
10-8, outflopping the king 6 on queen 9, 10, 2 spades.
Check.
And Eric's gonna maybe jam and lose the pot right here. I don't see how Carl can ever fold. Maybe now with the ace of spades on the river.
If Erick ships it, that's the bet.
75.
But he only bets 75. Like, I don't understand.
Actually, I don't
that.
mind it. Because you're kind of going, that bet size says, scream, call me, call me, call me, right? Like, that's what you want? I
But
like
think
it.
If you have a mate hand, I think you're jamming. I don't think you're doing a call me bet when you're that short stack.
Actually, you're right. It's not like the river was a king, which completes straights.
Yeah, I think that's I have shit, but please fold. But I don't want to put my tournament life on the line.
Carl's still in the tank here, trying to figure it out. Queen 9, 10, queen ace. Carl with the 10-8. So he's got 2 pair. Reaching for call chips. He calls.
Yeah. Yes.
He's going to be happy with the call correctly.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty easy call for Carl in that situation, because even if Erick had like a 10, now it's chopping, right? If he has like Jack 10 or King 10 now that he was losing to before, now he's chopping.
Yeah, so now, like, Erick with the, 160 ball, like, is it all pre-flop decisions at this point, Anthony? Like, shove, fold, or are you seeing flop? If it's me, there's no, the decision's all pre-flop.
Yeah,
and I'm going to go bang, 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 till I double, and then maybe I start seeing flops. And I would force that on Carl. Ace 3 of spades for Carl.
Raise to 30.
Jack 5 off for Erick.
Okay, blinds up.
Raising a fold. What are the blinds, so just so I know here? We are at
Blinds are up, so they're going up to 5-10.
5-10.
So just back to the other hand where with the ace on the river there, when Erick bets 75, like what hand is he targeting to make fold there, other than maybe the 9? Like what, like that his king high doesn't already beat. What hand is he trying to make fold?
Yeah, it's a good question. Good question to pose. Maybe he rivers an ace. You never know. It's hard to say. So effectively, if blinds are 5-10, Erick has 1-6. He's got like 16 big blinds ish in and around there. If our count on his stack size is accurate.
Carl with King Jack here, and we got Queen 9, so we'll probably just get it in. Maybe. No?
Side note: the big main camera, the wide angle one, the table felt looks black. The flop cam now looks like we have blue felt. Is that just me, or did that change recently?
It's black felt. It's just the lighting, I think.
Oh, there we go. So the light does actually. Oh, we got an all in. Queen 9 versus King and a Jack.
But it's weird because Erick limped, and Carl's the one who jammed, and then Erick called. So it's just the way it played out. It's weird.
King Deuce 8. King
And he
Jack.
flops King,
4
and
turn.
it looks like it's going to be over.
Wow. Game, set, and match.
Carl,
3 up.
Nothing.
All right.
Carl
Well, it looks
redeemed
like
himself a
Carl
little bit.
sweeping the match 3 straight here, eh?
Well, I'm glad for the simple fact that we'll have some cozy dinner soon.
Good game.
I'm gonna turn up the volume for the players here to see if they have any commentary. Pookie taking a break. Carl checking the phone. 2.5? Yeah, roughly. What do we say?
We got at 8 o'clock, so we got 2 hours and a bit.
Turn the commentary down there. Switch it back over to us. All right. So, well, thank you again, Anthony, for co-hosting today. I mean, not as smooth as the last one. It turns out your phone and Carl's laptop outperformed the 2 shitty cameras that I thought were the better option, which we tried today. But still a great match. It was fun to see. Oh, sorry, I should go back. Carl reaching for money. Look, I thought he was throwing money. Here, I'm paying up right now. Looks like the stream just ended. We'll go back to the announcers here, but yeah. How did you find that one? I mean, how's it being, a player versus being an announcer watching your opponent that you just played last week?
Well, it's interesting. Like I like doing the commentary. It's fun. Like obviously I like playing too. I'm gonna definitely be playing a lot more matches playing, but anytime that we need a commentator, I enjoy doing it. It'll be when we have different players and different styles for different analysis. It'll be fun as well. This one was very tech driven commentary, I believe. Today.
Yeah, it's it bothers me to no avail. I demand perfection because I like doing this shit. And when there's 4 hiccups distracting the players, I mean, it does take away from it a little bit from the viewers, from the players. So hopefully we iron that out. Like I said, it's only our 2nd time doing this, guys. So hopefully come match 3 and 4. I mean, it ain't high level production, but at least we can get it pretty consistent where we don't have those kind of technical difficulties. So
I think when you and Aaron, one of these days when you and Aaron get down on the felt, me and Dewey there will maybe be in the booth together.
I love it. I think it's soon. I mean, I think there's still a few weeks of kind of iron out some kinks. Probably maybe one more match in between then and now, but I'm excited. I'm itching to play. I can't wait. It'll be fun to get back on the felt and then have someone critique my play, and then I go back and watch the replays, which I'm sure you guys all do too. So I
watched our stream 3 times.
Yeah, well, as anyone would, right? You're like, what did they say? How did I look? And unfortunately, there's going to be chop, stupid fucking camera. But what are you going to do? We're trying to make it work. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Carl swept this match. It was a best of 5. He won all 3 straight. 2K profit going to Carl. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here with Anthony. Thanks again for tuning in. There'll be more matches to come. If you do want to watch the replay, it's all live on Twitch right now, but we will upload it to YouTube, so you can watch the replay on the Card Shark Exchange YouTube channel. Probably going to take me a few hours to upload. It takes a while for the better quality version to upload, but it will be there shortly in a day, so you can check it out. And that's basically it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Anthony, for co-hosting. And yeah, it was fun. Until the next one.
Chicken Man is now 1-1.
1-1, yeah. So your winning streak is basically 3-0. Carl's 1-1, and Eric is 0-1.
Yeah.
So, all right, Anthony, I will let you sign off. I'm going to shamelessly plug my other channel here in the next 2 seconds, and I'll probably holler at you once the stream's done. So, all right, guys, thanks again for checking it out. Take care. All right, so if you have been watching, you've probably seen this little tiny blurb in the corner of the main screen that says Mega Moose channel up and coming. I have 2 channels. There's Card Shark Exchange, all the poker stuff, and as of late in the last few months, there's one for Mega Moose, which is just crazy fun, casinos, slots, blackjack, table games. I decided to invest in a whole new stream package for a different channel, which is just everything but straight poker. Still super fun. So if you want, I would say check out the Mega Moose channel. There's a let me just find it here. Why is it not there? Like everything else, technical difficulties. Here we go. That one. Of course, it doesn't work. That's all right. Check out the YouTube channel on Mega Moose. Lots of already uploaded videos. The channel's only going to grow. I've already reached out to my designer. It's going to be fun, new alerts. Bunch of us will probably jump on at some point, and just a really interesting, cool gambling channel. So, all right, guys, thanks again for watching. Till the next one, we will do it all again. Cheers, guys.